We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. Maybe you'll find inspiration in the incredible true story of Black female mathematicians at NASA in Hidden Figures, or the fantasy world of Throne of Glass. There's more to imagine when you listen. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend asked me to promise that I would tell you guys this story. So I am telling you guys this story.
Okay.
On Thursday, he made a nice dinner for us. And I got home from work and he was making the nice dinner. And he was making salad. And I was sitting on the couch. And he comes out and he says to me, "I thought we had croutons. Where did the croutons go?" And I look at him. And he looks at me. And I look at him. And he's like, "Did you just eat the croutons?" Reader, I did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
That's fine, yeah. I snack
Thank
croutons
you.
all the time. Uh-huh.
They're a great snack. Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend thinks this is weird.
No, it's like a handful of snack mix. It's fine.
Yes, thank you.
You snack on French fries. French fries is croutons. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think this is totally fine. I mean, in Pittsburgh, technically, French fries are croutons.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've taken a handful of croutons out of the bag before and just munched on them. They're tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're fine here. No, Commish,
I disagree. I think you should have to earn your croutons by eating salad.
I mean, that is a good thing.
That is reasonable.
My senior year of college, I had someone I lived in at that disaster of a house that I bought a bag of croutons and he just like ate them all as a snack like immediately, like as soon as I got them back. So I'm out on people just eating croutons.
Well, you're traumatized though, so that makes sense.
But my understanding was that Pitt Girl was going to be having salad later as like that evening's food, correct?
There was salad involved.
So salad was in process. So this is just like eating your dessert first.
Yes. Also, I did not know that Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend was planning on making salad, and the croutons had been open for a while.
I mean,
and I had eaten them prior to this time.
I mean, like, I lived in a fraternity house. I've seen some people eat some shit that's just... I once walked upstairs and saw a guy with his hand stuck in a jar of nacho cheese, like, Pooh Bear gets stuck in honey, and, like, trying to shake it off his hand. So, I mean, this is not...
Like a raccoon in an accident?
Yeah, right. He was just stuck. So I'm not going to judge that. I'm never going to judge these things. I was trying to think of the other, like, weird things to snack on that I've snacked on before, just because I've been out of options in the pantry. Like, I'll eat a handful of saltines just for fun. I like saltines a lot, but that feels normal. Any other weird snacks?
Normal-ish.
Yeah, any other weird snacks? Weird snacking items?
If I can't find something that's really deserving of snacking, I just tell myself, like, I'm meant to wait until the next meal. Just like save the stomach room, save the calories, be hungrier when it really counts.
I think I've definitely reached into the fridge before and eaten like iceberg lettuce because I was hungry. Just like a couple of leaves of iceberg. That was a low point.
That's like not, I mean, not that it's not food,
It's not food.
It's not
but
food.
like it's crunchy water. How is that going to make you not hungry?
Maybe I was hydrating. I don't know. How you hydrate. My kid the other day, because we've convinced him that he always has to have a protein with dinner. And like I've told you before, he doesn't really eat a ton of meat. He eats chicken nuggets. That's about it. So he's realized that cheese has protein. Great. Okay. Milk products. But now he's on to like Cheez-Its have protein because they're made with real cheese. And you know what? I look at the box, they've got a little protein in them.
Yeah.
So my kid's just bulking with Cheez-Its.
That's definitely how that works.
That's definitely how that works.
Bulking in some sort of fashion.
If he would put on weight, I would be the happiest camper alive once again. He is a skinny mini, and we gotta get some meat on him.
I kind of find it hard to believe that Arthur hasn't just like gone into the pantry and saw like the little canister of chow mein noodles that he would put on the salad for crunchiness.
I mean, I've eaten
And
raw pasta.
just
I've eaten raw pasta.
grabbed a handful.
No, I'm too disciplined. Like
Too disciplined.
Food has roles, and it should stick to its roles, right? Like legit, I am someone who, if let's say I'm just using a random food as an example, but let's say I have cream cheese and I have bagels.
No, okay.
If someone goes and eats all the bagels without like using the cream cheese, like it will make me very upset to the point where like I might just like let the cream cheese sit and go bad just to like prove a point that like someone else messed up this ratio right here.
Okay.
Like if I have a thing of cream cheese and like a 6-pack of bagels, I'm like, okay, like the ratio has to be perfect. You got to use exactly 1/6 of this cream cheese per bagel. And if someone screws that up, like I'm probably just gonna let stuff go bad out of spite. Like I'm just be like, I got this bagel to eat with the cream cheese. There's no cream cheese, so this bagel's going to waste.
What do you do with hot dogs?
What do you mean? What do I do with hot dogs?
Because they come in uneven.
Not even
packaging
like the
numbers.
8 and 10 dilemma.
No. I always make sure to get slightly more hot dogs than buns. And then the surplus hot dogs go in a thing of like stovetop macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So he repurposes the hot dogs.
It has to have a purpose though. It
Okay,
has to be,
all right.
it has to fit. I
So you
can't
have
just
to
like
plan it out.
eat a naked hot dog.
I would do that.
I mean,
You have to bring the food into the world with a purpose.
Oh,
No aimless food.
yeah. There's no. I would do that. There is. I have done that, and recently.
Yeah, I'd naked dog it. Why not? I've done that before. I think the other day I went into the fridge and just ate like a piece of mozzarella cheese. Like I had some that I had
Yeah.
tried it for pizza. I just kind of ate it off the big block too, like an apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very guilty of bag of shredded cheese. Small handful of shredded cheese.
Oh, like I love to do the like. Here is a fruit. Here is a ball of mozzarella. Bite one, bite the other one. Bite one, bite the other one.
When my wife makes her Caesar salads or salads for lunch, she always grates some Parmesan cheese. And then she's gotten into the habit now of making it rain on our dog Julep. She makes it rain on her head and like cheese coming around her. And she just gets so happy from this.
I do that when I'm grating and whenever I'm peeling a carrot around the God Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
I will make it rain on the God Bunny. She gets incredibly excited.
To be fair, I would also be very happy if it snowed cheese on me.
Right? Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee Podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of August 4th, 2024.
Hello? Hello there.
We got new buttons.
We have some new buttons. Folks, it's August. We are here. We are ready for the season to start. But right now we have Olympic fever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to introduce our friends tonight that we're chatting with, and they're going to tell me what their Olympic fever moment has been in the last week. Pitt Girl, how are you, and what's your Olympic fever moment?
I'm great. Olympic fever moment, at least as of today, because I have eternal squirrel brain and I'm probably forgetting things from between Tuesday and today.
That's fine.
Was the women's road cycling race this morning.
Okay.
The winner is American, first women's road cycling medal in a while, if I recall correctly. She was not even supposed, she's from Homer, Alaska.
Okay.
She was originally a rower for Harvard. She spent a while in private equity or something like that.
Like you do.
And then stopped doing that because she decided she wanted to become a professional cyclist. The road race is not even her event. She was not supposed to be in this race, but one of the triathletes who was all supposed to be in this race dropped out to focus on triathlon. So this woman, whose name I do not remember, I am sorry, but shout out to her, gold medalist, ends up in this race and is in the pack chasing the leaders.
Okay.
She's 20, 30 seconds behind with 10 kilometers left, right? And she just punches it, and she's going and she's going and she's going, and she catches up to the leaders with 3 kilometers left and just passes them and keeps going. And the rest of the leader pack is what? And she just zoomed away and won by 20 seconds. It was amazing.
Yeah. That's not as crazy as what happened last time in this race at the Olympics, but pretty close to just have someone come out of nowhere like that.
She's not even supposed to be in this race, and she just blew everybody's doors off. 10 out of 10. And she's gonna do like track cycling later too, because that's what she's actually at the Olympics.
Her name is Kristen Faulkner, by the way.
Thank you.
The thing about Olympic athletes that I think a lot of people might not necessarily recognize is that they're just fucking built different. There's a lot of specialization that comes with being an Olympic athlete, right? Where you're particularly training for your sport, but there's also a lot of just very basic, this is how I train. This is how I, get in shape. This is how I, do X, Y, and Z. This is not the first time someone from a different discipline has ended up in another event just out of oh, there's an open, someone drops out, there's an open spot. You're here. Do you want to do it? I remember a case a few Olympics ago in the winter of a snowboarder who did a skiing event and just happened to win because she took a completely different, a snowboarding line instead of the normal skiing line, and it was faster. So, there are all sorts of ways where you have to train your whole life to get to the Olympics. But once you're there, you kind of have a lot of what you need to do kind of anything else at the Olympics. You also see a lot of people switch sports, right? I mean, I know there was the one, I forget her name too, actually, the track star who ended up doing bobsled. There's a lot of kind of crowd, because a lot of the basics, if you get there in one sport, you have that stuff down.
Beth, what is your Olympic fever moment from this week?
It would be whenever I pitched your idea to my father about having team fencing actually involve all of the teams fencing at once.
Yes.
And my father explained to me that this was a bad idea by using the example of the swimming relays. You wouldn't want to have them all jump in the pool at once. And I had to possibly get myself written out of the will as I explained that you just improved swimming to me.
That'd be way better.
Mm-hmm.
Commish? Got to make the pool much bigger. Just much wider. It's just ridiculous. So,
shout out also to what I like to call Chaos Medley, which was the mixed gender, mixed stroke relay that was yesterday.
Oh, hell yeah. That was fun.
Especially because it's not, the stroke order is assigned, but the gender of the swimmer is not. And so it is basically impossible to understand who is leading the race until you get to the end.
It's a lot of fun. My favorite thing that finally occurred today was was the event I've been waiting for this entire Olympics. It was the kayak cross.
Yes.
I have been so thrilled for the kayak. Like, I've been watching like the kayak where they just go by themselves, and they do the gate, and then they have to do there's the red gate where they have to like go back upstream and go around it, which is great. But then you add like Beth's theory of just why not all the kayakers go at the same time, which is literally happening in kayak cross. And the fun part is there's a spot where they have to like roll. Like,
Yes.
they have to roll
Go
underneath
under the
the bar. There's like a bar they have to roll. It's phenomenal. And then so one guy got out the gates like clean. He's all by himself. He's just going, and the other two can't catch him. But the other two are just fighting with each other.
Mhm.
Like, they're both trying to go around the gates, and they're just slapping each other with the oars. It's fantastic. And I'm gonna watch all of that tomorrow morning, which will be Tuesday when this comes out. It'll be yesterday. So linear time is a mistake, right?
And tonight, of course, we do have a guest with us, Chris Vannini from The Athletic. Chris, how are you? And what was your Olympic fever moment this week?
Hey guys, good to be here.
Yeah.
I have gotten really into beach volleyball the last couple of days. Like, the first few days of the Olympics, rugby sevens was like my jam. But since then, beach volleyball is so much fun. Like, you have to, like, you can't look away. It's a sport in which, like, it can't be your second screen because the points are so quick and there's so much action. Like, every single play is action. And I was watching the US Italy women's round of 16 match today, and the Italians made a crazy save on a point that nearly went out of like bounds, like out of the sand. She dove to save it. They volley it back, end up getting the point. I'm all in on beach volleyball, which is a growing college sport at the same time, which is really cool. So shout out beach volleyball.
Yeah, in the backdrop of the Eiffel Tower to the beach volleyball, like it's just like the stadium's right there, and you got the Eiffel Tower right there as you're watching. So it's just, I mean, it's phenomenal. I love U.S. women. They pulled off that victory, and so they move on to the next round, which I think both pairs of U.S. women are still alive at the opposite end of the bracket. So
I think
maybe they can meet. Both of them will meet for the gold, which would be awesome.
I have to say that the moment that really like brought me out this week was watching Saint Lucia and Dominica, I believe, get their first medals in Olympic history and first gold. It was a gold, which is amazing. And the runner from Saint Lucia, of course, is a Longhorn.
Yep.
So SEC gets to claim it.
Oh, she beat Sha'Carri Richardson, who is an LSU Tiger. So SEC rivalry
in the Olympics. The triple jumper from Dominica went to Maryland.
Terps.
Yeah,
that's right. Getting off to a good start for Maryland already.
Finding out like where these people like went to, like, because a lot of them at the top level, even if they represent other countries, they train in the U.S. a lot of times, and they have U.S. college connections. So you do get to see a little bit of connection there. I did love seeing whoever yelled War Eagle at Suni Lee. Like, that was also an amazing
That was
moment.
great.
I got a text from my dad about that. He was super hype. Like, so hype.
It's okay. ACC will claim those medals. It's fine. The ACC is going to claim all those medals.
I saw a tweet
that was the plan.
I saw a tweet that like Florida was like top 15 or top 10 in medals if it was a country, just the University of Florida. Like, that's pretty cool. I knew that like college sports was like a pipeline to Team USA, and the House settlement and everything, and the concerns over Olympic sports are very much real for that reason. I didn't really realize until this year how many foreign athletes are college sports, like Leon Marchand, Arizona State. Classic Big 12 right there, as they've been claiming him.
Gotta claim it. Gotta claim it. Doesn't matter when they join your conference.
It's really cool. It's like been really fun seeing the college connections with so many of these athletes.
Honestly, I think it should also be, it doesn't matter when they left your conference. Okay. So the SoCon can just start claiming medals.
Claim it. SoCon. I'll email them. You need to claim everything.
Do. And
I mean, SoCon Maryland definitely still counts for the ACC. That's just a fact. That's just where Maryland lives.
Claim it, ACC. Might as well. They were in the ACC at some point in time. Claim the medal, ACC. They don't care. They're leading into it. They're getting community noted. It's so great.
But does that
community note was such a good touch?
It's so good.
And it's a community note on every post they make now.
Really?
Well,
On every ACC poster, they're like, Katie Ledecky wins for that. There's so much community notes at every time.
I was
And
like,
I
she
go through-
graduated in 2021.
On my personal account, I'm a member of community notes, and so I go through and click, yes, this is useful every single time.
So I tweeted about this a couple days ago about how sad it was that everybody was claiming medals that go to the Pac-12. And an official at one of the conferences reached out to me to say, hey, look, the Pac-12 is not celebrating these athletes. You go look at their timeline. They're only celebrating Oregon State and Washington State. And so we feel like we need to celebrate them because they aren't. And like, I sort of buy that, but I'm also like, look, Leon Marchand is getting plenty of praise. I don't think a tweet from the Big 12 like really put it over the top for him, you know, or Katie Ledecky in ACC. So it's hitting. I'm like mixed on it. I frankly just wish the Pac-12 would have owned it.
Right.
That's why it's the Conference of Champions. Like the Pac-12 still should have said, hey, we got the most medals or something. I saw like the Big 10 the other day, like half of the medals it won that day were just from Washington, you know? And so it's like the Pac-12, that would have been a great way to go out. Like it wasn't until last Friday that the Pac-12 kind of ceased to exist as we knew it. So up until then, like that's your legacy really is the Olympic champions. And they decided not to do it for whatever reason.
The Ivy League did this correctly because they posted it and they put a big asterisk about we only count medalists from our original 8 members, who, by the way, have been the same members since 1956. And also, by the way, all our schools are within driving distance of each other. Beautiful. Great shit talking. I love it. Thank you.
This is like maybe the only instance in which I approve of the Ivy League doing some super Ivy League shit.
The Ivy League DM'd us. It was like, here.
They were like, here,
take this.
You like this, guys? Here, look at this.
You will love this. Tweet it. I'm like, yes, we loved it.
Okay, so things that have happened that we at least need to mention. First off, our Pommel Prince, Steve from Penn State, gets the bronze on Pommel.
Yeah.
By watching Jim. Oh, another thing I want to mention. I watched trampoline for the first time like ever, and watching those trampoline dudes fall off, like miss bounce and land on a very not soft pat on their neck, scary as hell.
It's terrifying because the trampoline is not very big.
No, I was expecting it to be way bigger.
Yeah, and they get very close to the edge sometimes. I didn't see somebody fall off, but it looks like you did. But it's terrifying. They get so high up and so close to the edge, and I can imagine not landing on the trampoline really has to hurt.
They have like a trainer there with a pad that they can like throw underneath them, but it's not very thick. And also, you're like 2 stories up. It's a high bounce.
It feels like some sort of video game where like really like easy to play like mobile game where you're trying to like slide the mat underneath the like falling trampolinist or something, but it's like completely real life and feels very, very haphazard when you see it in person. And it's like literally someone like running around trying to catch someone who's bounced too far.
That's one of the few moments in this Olympics where I asked myself a few times, did I just watch someone die?
Yep. Also, when the kayak people like flip over, I'm like, oh, they're dead now. It's fine.
I do kind of like how the kayak thing is like, yeah, we are going to intentionally make you briefly waterboard yourself. Have fun.
For reference, if you kayak, being able to roll your kayak is a very important skill.
I figured as much.
Sometimes the kayak flips over and you need to be able to right it or you will drown.
I remember the one time I went kayaking in Boothbay Harbor, Maine, and there was a guy with his it seemed like his new girlfriend. Yeah, they did the roll, not intentionally. But she was a little mad. That water in Maine was cold. That water in Maine was very cold.
Yeah, that was a test I had to pass to do whitewater kayak long ago.
Simone Biles, of course, absolutely amazing. Just destroying shit. Continues to destroy shit. The skeet shooting competition.
That's right.
It was a master and apprentice, I believe, in the final 2, both U.S.
That's right.
It was the teacher and the kid. Teacher
That's right.
won, which, I mean, should, I guess.
That's like, was it 4 in a row for him?
Yeah, it's crazy.
He skipped, I think, did he skip 2016 or 2020? I think he skipped 2016. Okay. So it's 2008, 2012, 2020, and 2024. And He's a Troy Trojan. We got to give love to the Fun Belt.
Yes. I mean, if it weren't a Sun Belt person doing skeet shooting, I would be very disappointed. I feel like that's spiritually correct.
Jordan,
I mean,
The Sun Belt is elite at water skiing too, by the way. Like
Well,
ULM in Louisiana,
very well
huge
aware
water
of that.
yeah,
That's right.
I mean that should be an Olympic sport right there. We get some more medals for the Sun Belt.
It is in the Summer Olympics.
Oh,
It's in the World Games.
I thought it's in the Summer Olympic water skiing.
No,
We are in the
there's
Summer
no water skiing. We got like wakeboarding and surfing and stuff.
Okay.
they don't let you use powered means of conveyance in the Summer Olympics.
World Games, baby. There we go. Also, our big beefy boys in shot put. Ryan Krauser, Joe Kovacs, for this billionth time ever, always great.
Back to back to back. They finished 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And somebody posted the Talladega Nights. It's like
The shake and bake, yeah.
Cole was like, "Hey, what about letting me win once?" You know, I was like, "No." He was like, "No, but I can't win."
I tell you, speaking of scary, by the way, is that when those guys were shot putting in the rain and they were slipping on the concrete, that seemed very dangerous. Big tree fall hard.
The hammer throw in the rain too was incredible. Shout out to the Canadian dude with the mustache that won that. Oh my God, what a stash. And long hair too. It was amazing.
The track and field event that always gives me a little bit of anxiety is always the javelin.
Oh, that's not yet. We haven't had javelin yet. I love watching that, but it is terrifying.
I've seen a little bit of it. I feel like we all saw some clip when we were kids of like some funniest home video where someone gets like hit in the chest with it. I don't know if that's real. I just have this memory as a kid, and I feel like we all saw that video as a kid. And it's the only thing we think of with javelin. People must be dying in this event all the time.
Javelin is basically Olympic lawn darts, if you think about it.
I was just going to say, are any of us old enough to have ever played lawn darts? I think we're all young enough that we were banned.
I have.
Oh,
I have.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
so it's more between you and me then, because I never remember lawn darts.
This assumes that the adults in my life were going to, be worried about the fact that we were attempting to impale ourselves.
From West Virginia, yeah.
I remember playing lawn darts in Miami with my mom's side of the family. So I remember like actually doing that in their backyard. Like with the real legit like lawn darts that were incredibly dangerous. I asked for some when we got back home to New Orleans, and I asked my mom for some, and she bought me like the plastic ones, not the real ones. So I was a little upset by that, but it's okay. I'm here.
With all 10 fingers, 10 toes, and no major injuries. That's good.
I would like to hop back briefly.
Yeah.
Back to our big beefy shot putters. I would like to posit that shot putters are the most lineman coded Olympians.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. They are the
sprinters are wide receivers.
Yes.
These guys are linemen.
Yes.
Take that.
For sure.
I did love the U.S. manages a gold in rowing for the first time since 1960.
That was awesome.
I owe you guys an apology because I wasn't posting on the account that day, and I let the world's greatest Long John Silver post just die on the vine, and I'm sorry about that. I'll be better next time.
Yeah.
Save it for ECU's new uniforms. They came out of the water.
Oh, listener, the rowing team trains in Philly.
The one that I watched where I was like standing up hooting and hollering, I watched the 10K or this 10,000 meter technically called. First off, running a 10K sounds like hell already. The second thing is running a 10K on a track sounds doubly awful. But
how many laps is that?
It's
too many.
It's a lot. It's like a
30 the 1500. The 1500 is already too many.
Yeah,
it's like that's just too many laps. Then you're gonna run a 10K on the same track. That's ridiculous.
Right? It's wild.
25 laps.
That's so many. But
I mean, it's like swimming the 1500, where it's just like this is 30 laps. Have fun.
Those are events where like you really do need the bell that they ring to let you know it's the last lap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was trying to think, like, what would be the most insulting race to have to do heats in? I was like, they don't make you do heats in a marathon, do they? There's no like
a marathon heat.
That would be so awful, right? Being like, oh yeah, you don't qualify the Olympic marathon, you got to do the heat first.
decathlon heats.
Just imagine,
God.
just imagine if you had to do a heat for the marathon, but then you don't make it. But then you got to do the repechage or whatever they
Yeah,
call
I was
it?
just
You have
thinking
to do
about
that
yeah.
marathon
just to get
repechage.
back in it.
Oh God, it sounds awful. Olympics
Crazy.
always brings up the best in everyone. I do want to mention our aluminum medal table update where we were
Oh, yes.
cataloging every fourth place finish. Italy
Yes.
currently has 15 fourth place finishes. I don't know how they're so good at this, but every time I open something up, it's like, oh, yep, Italy again.
Right there.
There were a couple more today that I added in because I was trying to sort of get the list ready. And like Canada ended up in fourth place for every one of the women's swimming relays. Like they ended up off the podium for all three of them. There's a couple like that. Slovakia ended up like off the podium for like three things as well. It's wild when the bad luck rolls. It just rolls real hard. It's not even about like percentage of athletes either, because I was looking at that being like, well, okay, if you have more athletes, like tends to be, there's a certain bit of truth to that, but Italy is just very good at this. France having 10 makes sense since they're in everything this year, since you have to have someone in like this home country, you get someone in everything.
You get thrown in everything. Why not?
I would also like to shout out the Association of Individual Neutral Athletes, or whatever we're calling them, with their teal flag and their neutrality. This is all the Belarusian and Russian individual athletes who aren't allowed to compete under their flags this year. And so they have this AIN logo that looks like I made it in Inkscape in about 30 seconds. And it's wonderful. They have to use the Olympic anthem, I believe.
On a similar but different note, there's a boxer, Cindy Ngamba, is the first athlete competing as a refugee to clinch an Olympic medal. She's going to get at least bronze in her weight class in boxing.
Nice.
And that is super exciting. So we love to see it. Go refugee team.
Nice.
Cool.
Also, was the guy Bobby Fink in the 1500?
Mm-hmm.
He won.
Yes.
He set a world record that like an incredibly long world record, and he also extended the United States streak of gold medals for men in swimming.
Barely.
He was our last chance.
Our last shot. He pulled it off with a world record to defeat the Italian, which I was like standing the entire like last 4 or 5 laps for that one, watching that one on the gold zone, and that was nuts. I didn't think he was going to keep the pace. I'm like, the Italians are going to catch him. The Italians are going to catch him the whole time. And then he made the turn for the last like 50 and he just shot out of a cannon. I'm like, how do you have this in your reserves? And he hit the world record too at the same time.
I would like to take a second also to shout out the bronze medalist in that race. Daniel Whiffen, who is Irish, is the first Irish swimmer in quite a while to win a gold medal. And also Ireland's won more medals in the last week than they have in the last like 25 years or something crazy like that. So go off, Ireland.
Also in the U.S. swimming, I think that makes 120 years.
I think it was 124
years,
or
124. Yeah, the streak was 120 years, I think, going into this Olympics of the U.S. getting a gold medal in men's swimming.
This almost turned out to like that Florida hanging on to their non-shutout streak by kicking that sad field goal against Oregon State in the Las Vegas Bowl. So
there was nothing sad about that race.
Nothing sad about that race at all.
I will say for folks who are asking this, I polled the committee because my fourth place things. The problem with boxing is that they don't really have a way to get fourth place. So I counted basically everyone who made the semis and lost, or sorry, the quarters and lost. So there are 4 fourth places for each boxing weight class. I'm just going to count that as because that gives us some great places. Like it ups Kazakhstan's and Uzbekistan's numbers a whole bunch.
Why not?
And that's just like I'm happy about that. So
we got Uzbekistani listeners, so we got to give them a shout out.
That's true.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Our friend in Tashkent.
Our one friend in Tashkent. Yes.
I do want to talk about. So y'all know that there are some countries where like you get money if you get a gold medal, right? Like for Olympic medals, you get money. In the US, you get money. Some countries are way more, some way less. I think in Singapore, you get like an apartment, or someplace you get like an apartment or something. But
it's like when you win the Hunger Games, they give you that house.
It's kind of like those games you see where like the people are trying to shoot a soccer goal and then you get to pick like groceries or something. which is weird on like, you know,
We're tossing a football into a big Dr. Pepper can for a scholarship.
or,
They do
like
this
that.
at halftime of Pitt basketball games. If you make the half court shot, you get your apartment is free.
I mean, you know,
No,
that happened.
You have to make like 2 half-court shots.
Two.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's-
Pitt.
It's called the
That's
one
too
spot
much.
challenge. You pick a spot on the floor, and then you have to make it in both hoops from there. So someone did it last year,
Wait.
and they shot like a 3/4 court shot, and then they had to make a 3 to claim the apartment. What I do think is funny though, it's like it's an free apartment, but like way off campus. So they're bringing people
You're
in
in, like,
from the student section to
Aspinwall.
shoot it. So it's a downtown apartment for a
downtown,
Pitt student. If you're familiar with Pittsburgh geography, especially now with all the construction, they got to put the BRT in. Like,
Congratulations on your free apartment. Now climb the hill, idiot.
Yeah, I hope you like riding the 61 and 71, folks.
Pittsburgh
So in the-
humor. Let's go.
In the US, you get $37,500 if you get a gold, $22,500 if you get a silver, $15,000 if you get a bronze. In some countries, you get nothing. I think some of the Scandinavian countries, they're just like, no, you get nothing.
No, you get nothing. Whatever.
But Commish, what do you get in the Philippines?
Okay, so this is incredible. So a Philippine gymnast, Carlos Yulo, won the first gold medal ever for men in the Philippines history. And so this article on what he gets is incredible. I just want to read what he gets for this.
Oh.
So he's won one gold medal, but then he won another one. So he gets 2 gold medals. So basically the headline, it says, gymnast to receive house, cash, free ramen for life. It's got to be good ramen, right?
But
it's not going to be like, you know, top ramen or anything like that, right?
This is by
Gotta be
Sarah
good.
Kelsey for NBC Olympics, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay. So, first male Olympic gold medalist ever in the Philippines. He's going to get a fully furnished 2-bedroom condo valued at 24 million Philippine pesos, which is 415,000 US dollars. Yes, this is in addition to the free house.
Perfect.
So he gets a condo and a house. Then he gets 10 million in cash from the Philippine Sports
Pesos.
Commission, which is
Pesos.
it just says cash. So, but it's 173,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
3 million in cash, 52,000 US dollars from the country's House of Representatives. So, can you imagine the House of Representatives in the United States just giving you 52 grand? That's great. I think this is my favorite one. He gets a lifetime of free colonoscopies and gastroenterology consultations, but only once he turns 45. Like, he's 24.
If you think about what eating ramen for 21 years might do to you, this makes a lot more sense.
It does. And then he gets 100,000 Philippine pesos worth of free furniture, which is only $1,730 US. That's like maybe a sectional here. I don't know.
That.
Hey, yeah, no, I was going to say that's a pretty solid trip to IKEA based off of what Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend and I did with approximately $1,000 at IKEA not too long ago.
Alternatively, you could go to Walmart, go and buy the Mainstays product line and furnish your entire house and your condo.
I mean, that's a lot of money to use to furnish the house and the condo. Hopefully he can pull it off.
How do we get a colonoscopy group to sponsor a bowl game? I think that's what we need at this point.
Everyone, every coach gets a free colonoscopy.
Yeah, and then when you win, the mascot goes into a room, and the team does something to it.
The viewership numbers that would get are horrifying to contemplate.
Oh my god,
that's your halftime show.
Well, no, they gotta win.
Colonoscopy on the halftime show. It's great.
They gotta win.
I don't think the coach is coming out for the second half.
Coaches coming out like Rob Lowe at the end of Wayne's World.
I mean, here's the thing. You've just posited a reality in which the coaches, right before this game, have to go through 24 hours of colonoscopy prep.
That's true.
Oh, God, they can't do anything they're going to be so
It has nothing to do with not eating anything. It has everything to do with what that drink does to you.
Yeah.
Oh, the barium. Is
Yeah,
it the
it's really,
barium shake?
no, it's something
No.
else.
Oh, okay.
It makes it all come out real bad. No, we're not doing
Oh
there.
God, no, not doing that. All right.
Hold up. Button.
All right.
No.
Okay, perfect. He still gets a lifetime of free ramen, free buffets, and free meals from numerous local establishments. So he's never gonna eat. I mean, never gonna have to pay to eat again in the Philippines. Then he gets a lifetime of free engineering design
What does
by
that
Nexa
mean?
Engineering.
What does that
Like
even
class?
mean?
You get
Like,
homework.
and-
You win homework.
You get free engineering design.
I want a new bridge in my backyard.
I mean,
Design
like,
it for me.
You can design it, but like, can they like build it? I mean, like, I don't know what like. Can you build me something in like Minecraft or? I mean,
you get you get a stadium rendering, but you never get the stadium. You just
that's
get the
right.
rendering.
Okay, that's perfect.
I mean, there are a lot of different like engineering fields. So like this could be like materials engineering, which would be kind of concerning. It could be like computer engineering, which maybe that's just like tech support for your new home. I don't know.
I hope it's not chemical engineering just for the sake of his future eligibility to play this sport.
Yeah. I mean, are seeing other things that certain countries have given their medalists? I'm seeing plots of land. I'm seeing lots of houses, food, things like that. Diamonds. Poland gives people a holiday voucher. It's great. A painting.
A
Yeah.
voucher.
We can do better than this.
Poland gives you like PTO.
Apparently so. I don't know.
You've won a free vacation.
You won a gold medal, and now you get a vacation. Here's a free Viking River cruise.
South Korea exempts medalists from their mandatory military service.
Oh my God,
that seems like a good
may be
promise.
That may be good. You got to win. Got to win. Okay.
Is that only for gold, or like is it bronze? You only got to do like half the service.
It's like levels.
You come in fourth, no crown.
Unclear.
You still gotta go.
Still gotta go. You gotta win the gold to get out of military service in South Korea.
Or be in a K-pop band. I think that also gets you out sometimes.
True. I think so.
Arthur, do you keep adding the pole vaulter thing in the show notes to make us talk to it, or is that someone else?
That's not me. Someone else is adding the pole vaulter.
Just add the pole vaulter thing. Just go ahead.
Look,
sorry,
I added the pole vaulter.
Sorry about the pole vaulter.
I've been like
Pitt
kind
Girl.
of a little bit offline for the past like couple of days. I've just been out doing things, and so I haven't watched a ton of Olympics. The pole vaulter is the one thing that's really broken through. Even not watching the Olympics, I've seen a lot of people talking about this.
We can't not talk about this because it has been like every time I opened Twitter in the last 3 days, that clip has been somewhere within the like early portion of my scrolling.
Go Pitt Girl, just describe the event.
Describe what happened.
So there's a French pole vaulter.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes up. He has the pole. He is going over the bar. Folks, he hit the bar. And he hit the bar with his dick.
With his pole.
With his pole. While vaulting.
Oh, it was so good. It was so funny. That's all. Like, what else do you want to say about it? Except it was just really funny that.
All right, I'm gonna counter argue this at this point. I'm ready because I know everybody wanted to talk about this. I'm ready to counter argue it. All right, let's go. I'm gonna prevent the defense of this gentleman because when he acknowledged that he went viral, he didn't even mention what hit the pole. So first of all, this has happened in 2016. A Japanese person had the same situation happen, and he went viral in 2016 at the Rio Olympics, which, again, he was disqualified before whatever, hit the pole. The same thing happened with this French person. He hit it with his shins and with his knees. So when he struck it twice, essentially, even though the bar had not fallen yet, he was still disqualified. So whatever happened after the fact, it did not matter. So he still would have not qualified regardless of what occurred after that. So
do you think he did it on purpose then? That's the conspiracy I've seen. That
now we can start a conspiracy theory. Hey, I got disqualified, so let me just let me throw. I'm 21, and I'm a French gentleman.
So he's French, right? Yeah, no, of course.
He's French.
I'm in France. Let me just go ahead and, advertise to the world.
He's
Can we
gonna
get a
he's gonna
conspiracy theory of
he's gonna
this
become
next?
known as like the organic cucumber. Like that's gonna be his pole vault name going
I
forward.
mean, I've seen like references to his baguette.
Oh yeah,
You know, his,
ce n'est pas
somebody,
un pipe.
you know, the croissant. You
Le
know,
aubergine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the eggplant. Yes. So
I like this.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
if you're gonna not like if you're gonna get eliminated, right? Which
I
like
mean,
he didn't have the height to qualify
No.
for the final. So if you're gonna get eliminated, like what a way to go! And now you get to go back to the Olympic Village and be
That is true.
the guy that got eliminated from the pole vault in that fashion for the rest of the Olympics in the Olympic
technically,
Village.
yeah. I mean, you could, you know, maybe the Olympians is like, no. He was already eliminated.
Also, I mean, it's a story every year. I guess we haven't really seen it this year, but like the sex that goes on at the Olympics is like legendary. Every year, there's athletes talking about it. So, like, you know,
Yeah, this is.
it makes sense. It makes sense to put yourself out there.
I mean,
this is literally
this
and
is-
figuratively.
This is, you know, the best Tinder profile you could have in the Olympic Village. Yes,
I can work the pole and the pole.
right. Do not make that the show title, Arthur.
No, that's what it needs
Do
to be.
not make that the show title.
We do have some actual college football news. I don't want to talk about a lot of the Michigan stuff going on. But I do want to mention this part of it is that NCAA investigators, this is from Dan Murphy at ESPN, determined that it was Connor Stalions on the sideline wearing a disguise at the Central Michigan State game last fall. It's all true, and it's beautiful.
Chris, can you know? I believe you are a Michigan State alumnus. Am I incorrect in that assumption, or am I correct? I am correct. Okay, so have you worked your sources at Michigan State and found any confirmation here or no? At the
So the way I found out it was Connor Stalions was I looked at it. I think it was pretty clear at that point. We don't, you know, I got some when that first hit. I got some additional exclusive photos through people around that game at the time that I reported at the time. Because remember, they didn't find out about it until like 5 or 6 weeks later.
Yeah, it was like halfway through the season before this drop.
Yeah, and this was the first game of the season. And as soon as Central Michigan did not say, oh, no, that's Johnny, he's the equipment guy.
Yeah.
As soon as they were silent, like, that's it. It's done. Like, you know it. Like, everybody knows it at that point.
I love how Connor decided to just go as his telenovela self. And just grow a goatee, so he's like the evil villain.
Well, yeah, because it was again the first week of the season. It's a Friday night. It's a Friday night game, so you grow it out, you shave it afterward, and then you go to Michigan the next day to do your deal, and you look totally different. You could only get away with this in week 1 on a Friday.
Yeah.
I was so sad that it looked like he'd grown it out. I was hoping whenever I'm like in a disguise, like, oh, please let it just be like a bad spirit gum, like community theater beard, please.
He's got just a little wispy mustache going on. Oh,
totally. I mean, he could have wore the glasses with like the fake nose and mustache, and that could have been better. But I don't know.
Look, you have to say, like, this is. Whatever you think of Michigan and what they did or didn't do, how bad it was or wasn't, this specific thing has to be among the most brazen cheating things we've ever seen. He could have just bought a ticket and sat in the stadium like he did all the other times. He didn't do that this time.
He was like, no. I gotta be on the sidelines at the Central Michigan game.
He's wearing sunglasses at a game with a 7 p.m. kickoff.
Yes.
And he's wearing I've done that. Official team issued gear, like all of this stuff. And he knew people on the Central Michigan staff because they had worked at Michigan prior. We've had this before. Like Jeff Lebby got in trouble one time because he went to like be on the sideline of the Tulsa, Oklahoma game, I think, because he was friends with Phil Montgomery from their days at Baylor or something, and he got in trouble for that. But that was like, he was there to support a friend. He wasn't in a disguise on the sideline, you know.
I feel like at least some level, this might have just been like sort of a heat check. Because like this, you say like, yes, he could have just bought a ticket and sat in the stands. Like, I feel like if you're Connor Stalions, like you've cooked up this scheme, you have a manifesto. Like at a certain point, like you're just doing stuff just to see if it works, just to see if you can get away with it, to see if you can try it.
Shooting a 3 from half court.
I know that he like has to have gotten a credential and like the matching polo from somewhere, but I do really like the mental image of Connor Stalions just like honor student walking his way into this.
He's either honor student walking his way in, or he's singing his own theme music like Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. It's one or the other.
I mean, every one of us has bullshitted our way past someone where we shouldn't have been before by honor student walking it. Beth, I believe your father ended up on the field at UCF by basically honor student walking his way down there after the game.
Yeah. It's more surprising that my brothers got down there, to be honest, than my dad.
I'm just going to say that I wound up in the BET seats at the 1993 Final Four due to my father greasing palms at the Superdome in New Orleans. So I got to see like the Chris Webber timeout in the BET seats that they never showed for. So that was very nice. I appreciate that.
I ended up in press row at the Final Four once that way. It was weird.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say is that last year we saw Dr. Fraser Crane on the sideline in a Rutgers polo. Yes. Has he been spying for Washington since Washington has now joined the Big Ten?
Okay. I like this.
Okay. If he shows up in a Washington game this year,
we know.
In a Washington polo, we know. We know Greg Schiano.
Money Plane is a good nickname for a collective as well.
How we not had that would be really good.
Okay. That's how they're dealing with all the conference travel.
Oh, the Money Plane.
Well, we can't say it's Ocean's 1 because obviously Connor Stalions has taken that.
Our beloved Oregon Duck also has been going on a tour this week.
I don't know what
hitting up Big Ten stadiums and trying to be let in, and the Northwestern construction site as well. It has been delightful. I love that Oregon is just absolutely leaning hard into this. Whereas the other schools have been very like, oh, we're in the Big Ten now. Oregon's like in it. Oregon went to Big Ten headquarters, sat at the desk the Ducks sat at the desk for a bit. A great little bit of PR. I love it.
I've mapped out the Ducks' journey so far. The last spotted place was the Duck was at Ross Ade Stadium, and then also the Duck was on the train, the Boilermaker, in Purdue. So at this point of the podcast, which I'm assuming the next stop is Michigan State, according to the map, we have 3,000.
You're tracing a serial killer.
91 miles. And a total of 48 hours of driving that the Oregon Duck has done so far. If you start from the University of Oregon, it's gone to Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Illinois, Indiana, and Purdue. So I'm assuming the next stop is East Lansing. So Chris, be on the lookout.
But officer, I left you all the clues.
So I've been thinking about this the entire time that the Duck has been on his road trip. When do we think that he's going to arrive in State College? And also, Beth, do you want to go meet the Duck?
I want to take my father to go meet the Duck because the humor potential is very high. The nickname for my father is Puddles. So.
Yeah, very.
I tell you what, they're used to. I don't know if there still are, but like you used to be able to get onto the field at some stadiums. I remember in 2008, I drove down from Michigan State down to Florida with my dad for Tiger spring training. We stopped at Georgia Tech because I had a cousin who went there, and we just walked down to the field at Georgia Tech. And as we got into Florida, we stopped off in Gainesville, walked down to the field at Florida, and I grabbed a little bit of grass that I kept with me. I don't know if you can get into stadiums anymore or not, but like this is because used to be a thing.
The folks at LSU decided to like drive onto the field and do donuts on the field. Security's gotten a little bit more intense at the stadiums because honestly, when I went to visit in the 90s, I went to visit, was it Wade Davis Stadium? I think in Mississippi State in Starkville.
Yeah.
I went to, I was watching their special teams practice. I fielded a punt. Essentially, it bounced in the end zone, and they were like, "Hey, you can't be here." And I'm like, "Here's the ball," and I, ran with my back to the hotel.
Commish, when you were just in Houston, did you get into Rice's Stadium?
I did not get into Rice's Stadium. The funny thing here is when I pulled up to Rice Stadium, there's a walkway where people can just walk at the end of one end zone, which is right in front of the fitness center. So you're basically at one end zone. There's a gate where you have to like walk down to get to the field. So you're a little bit elevated, and you can still see the inside of the stadium, but you can't like get in the stadium or anything, which was awesome because I could see the entire fitness center of them. I also got to see their 18-wheeler, which is, intellectual brutality for Rice, which was cool. And, my dad was a Miami Dolphins season ticket holder when they played in, I think, Super Bowl 7 in Rice Stadium. So he was at that game.
You can get into Cincinnati's stadium because it's in the middle of campus, and there aren't gates. Like I covered a handful of games there a couple years ago, and people would tell me a lot of times they'd just like go down there on their way to class or something like that. They'd go through the stadium, cut through it. So I know that one that's still open. So maybe Puddles should go there.
Oh, that'd be good. Can we get your grandpa on? Beth, can we get your grandpa into every field next year? That's the goal.
Grandpa? You mean my dad? Because I'm out of grandpas at this point.
Oh my god! Don't tell me I said that, please.
Cut that, Arthur.
I have to meet him in 3 weeks. He has to like me. No,
I don't know anymore.
Okay, let's do our ad read and go from there. Commish, I gotta go pee, so why don't you start with ad read?
Oh, I gotta do the ad read. Okay, perfect. He's gotta use the rest. We're not gonna get any soundboard here, but well, I don't know. Maybe he's got other sounds. But give a shout out to our link tree on our Twitter and Instagram, Blue Sky profiles for some various discounts. We got some, discounts on coffee, tea, barbecue, home field, all that stuff. Also, give a shout out to our Patreon and Discord. Please join. You get to participate in the upcoming weekly rankings debate, which we're already debating week 0. And if we're going to do a Sickos game of the week, because there's only 2 FBS versus FBS matchups in week 0. Also, you get the live chat during the season. You get to see the inner workings of the committee during game days, including much yelling about the games. I don't know why my voice cracked there. You get to participate in the Weird Sickos research if you like. Shout out to Mass, who's been helping out with our previews on our Substack. You get to submit suggestions for podcast segments or talk about fun ideas on the pod. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you also get the paywalled Substack posts, which we're going to bring back up during the season, where we do the heavy old-timey alliteration. We have 3 different podcasts behind the paywall. We have Commish's Corner. We have Yes, Rah, 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 Yes, which is about the band and fight songs, which I believe we should have, I think, 5 or 6 episodes of that right now. Also, we have a completed 7 podcast series called the Prairie View Chronicles, where we went over the entire 80-game losing streak of the Prairie View A&M Panthers. We have about 33 total episodes. Also, I have a new series, which is just going to be part of the Commish's Corner. I am starting to write right now about defunct bowl games. So we have defunct bowl games coming. My first one I have working right now is something called the Cajun Bowl, which there was only one Cajun Bowl, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So our Sickos merch store is back. We have 50 items in the store. We have koozies, magnets, wine glasses, cans, shaped glasses, stickers, shirts, and foam truckers, hats, and more. And Jordan is back from using the restroom. You can continue if you're back.
Okay, that sounds good.
Right,
thank you. Thank you for going for me.
Go from the YouTube.
Of course, we have our YouTube channel where we post our shorts. We have our Instagram where we post pictures. Some of the same stuff, some different from our other account. Instagram is there for when Twitter ends up eating itself. We have a Twitch channel as well. Follow us there. I will be streaming more this week. We have our Substack, which includes our things like our FCS previews and our regular conference previews.
Yeah, we got 5 coming this week. We got the CAA, the Big South OVC Alliance, the MEAC, the SWAC, and the UAC. UAC. That's the sound of a dying giraffe.
Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go to the places we refuse to go because I, you know what? I value my time, and my therapist tells me I need to do that too. And lastly, Home Field Apparel, the softest, comfiest shirts, licensed apparel for all your favorite colleges. They're releasing brand new boxes for tons of schools this fall that look amazing, that include things like crew necks and shirts and hats. So definitely look at that. I think tonight, let's see here. Who's wearing home field tonight? Beth and I are actually both wearing Minnesota shirts with Goldie on them. I don't know how. Got a Kansas State shirt as well. Commish, there we go.
Do you know anyone who went to Minnesota?
No, I don't.
Yeah, neither do I. Okay.
I do.
God bless home field.
Well, maybe could be a potential. No, we're not gonna go there.
I did have some people look at me weird at Topgolf today because I was wearing my Delta State Fight Okra shirt.
You're fighting okra while you're at Topgolf?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I've told you this on the podcast before. My wife will not let me wear my Evergreen State shirt out of the house.
No,
I wore mine out of the house yesterday.
She put her foot down. She's like, it looks like a penis. You can't do that.
See, I wore mine the other day and my mom's like, "Aw, that's cute. What is it?" And I'm like,
Evergreen State.
It's clam. Bye.
Evergreen State sponsored the pole vaulter from France.
As always,
let it all hang out is the motto.
Use offer code yes, ha ha ha, yes. That's 3 ha's for 15% off your first order.
Hey, Prime members. Have you heard? You can listen to your favorite podcasts ad-free. Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free-podcast. That's amazon.com/ad-free-podcast to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Getting the smile and confidence you've been dreaming about, all from the comfort of your home, isn't a total mystery with Bite Clear Aligners. Just don't be surprised if all your friends start asking, "What's your secret?" Begin by ordering your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95. Bite Clear Aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer flexible financing, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
So I didn't give you a full introduction, Chris, but I guess I'll do that now. Chris, what is your background? Where are you at? What do you do?
Well, I work at The Athletic. I've been here since 2017 when we started college football. I started with a group of 5. I'm now just national senior writer covering everything. And graduated from Michigan State in 2011. And going into my 8th season now, I think. So I'm excited. It's the last several years, the off seasons have been so incredibly draining that I look forward to the season more than ever before. And this is another one of those years.
I think you're actually a neighbor of mine, aren't you? You're real close to me, I believe. I'm in McKinney.
Yes, I'm just a bit north of you.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, both meet at the Buc-ee's in Melissa.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the
That's why I take everybody when they come visit.
The Pennsylvania contingent here is very Sheets heavy.
They're very sheetsy. We're not going to talk bad about Sheets. We're Sheets pilled over here.
Sheets and Buc-ee's are not the same thing. They're just
No,
not.
No.
That could wind up being a question on one of our previews. Is the team more Sheets or Buc-ee's? So let's go through it.
So Commish, intro us into our previews.
All right, I'm going to stumble over this like I do every single time. It is the Super SICKO Spinning Selection Season Preview Forecast. The SSSSSPF, aka the 5 SPF. We've got 99 questions, but a preview ain't one. We have the Big 12 coming up, which is probably going to be our chaos conference this year. And we also are going to go over the American conference. So,
uh-oh. Lost you.
Oh, no.
Your mic cut again.
not again. You got to be.
Oh,
I
Robo
like
Commish.
this. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I like this a lot.
Okay. Robo Commish, am I still here?
Yeah, you're still.
You are still here. You are super Robo Commish.
Hello? No.
No, it's still really bad. Unplug and plug it back in.
Unplug it and plug it back in. Yep.
Well, while he's doing that, I do want to say that the Big 12 looks so much fun this year. I've been
Define fun.
I have no rooting interest in it, and therefore I can have fun watching it.
Beth is a West Virginia fan. If you don't know, is this better? Is the mic back?
Yes,
this
You're
is
back.
All
better.
right.
You are no
The
longer
Yeti is
Robo
back. All right, perfect. So,
Yeah, the Big 12 just seems to be such a chaotic conference in terms of I'm not sure where the top really is. And I also am not the bottom's gonna. I sort of know where the bottom is, but even then, any given Saturday, this is very much chaos. Again, Beth, I'm glad I don't have to be involved in this or emotionally invested in it. How does it feel, Beth, to have to care about this?
Well, I was just glad that my team decided to schedule lots of out of conference games that I don't have to be emotionally invested in, so that I can just sort of ease myself into this series. That'll be totally fine, and I will be okay.
Beth,
Arthur, clip that for use on September 14th, please.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
Beth, what are those out of conference games for West Virginia, by the way?
I mean, we're playing Albany.
Yeah, you Albany, great.
Yep,
great
and
Great
I'm not
Good
sure
team.
who else. That's it. I know we're playing Albany.
It's definitely not two schools that are based in Pennsylvania and aren't Temple.
Two schools that I live closer to than West Virginia.
Oh, Bobby Moe and Duquesne?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We were going to play CMU, but decided not to.
Okay, done. Maybe IUP.
Okay, so let me get my wheel up here.
Hold on, let me do the season
Oh, yeah, go for it.
review. 2023, the standings. Texas is gone. Oklahoma, gone. So I don't care about that anymore. Oklahoma State finished the Big 12, 7-2 in conference, 10-4 overall. Iowa State, 6-3 in conference, 7-6 overall.
Man, their
Kansas-
season seems so much worse than that. I remember Iowa State being bad, but apparently not. We're fine.
They got off to a bad start, and then
That's
as soon as that guy in Athens, Ohio, yelled at Matt Campbell, they got a whole lot better.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Kansas State 6-3 in conference, 9-4 overall. West Virginia 6-3 in conference, 9-4 overall, and the Mayo dump on Neil Brown, who was on the hot seat. Texas Tech Independence Bowl victory, 5-4 in the conference, 7-6 overall. The Kansas Jayhawks 5-4 in conference, 9-4 overall. UCF 3-6 in conference, 6-7 overall. TCU, defending champions of the Big 12 last year, 3-6 overall. 3-6 in the conference, 5-7 overall. Houston 2-7 in their first year in the conference, 4-8 overall. They fired the Cougar Coaster leader, Dana Holgerson. BYU 2-7 in conference, 5-7 overall. Baylor 2-7 in conference, 3-9 overall, and they retain their head coach who likes to pay players with their lovely t-shirts. Cincinnati 1-8 overall in the conference, and 3-9 overall. That's a lot of Skyline chili. I don't,
Hey Beth, did you see where Hogo is going next season?
No.
He's going to be an off-field analyst at TCU with Todd
What?
Graham. With Todd Graham, by the way.
Oh
Todd
boy.
Graham.
He's gonna be
Oh, God.
he's gonna be a defensive analyst, and Todd Graham's gonna be the offensive analyst. So
Wait, hold on.
so they're gonna
Whoa,
be
whoa.
they're gonna be working on the other side. They're gonna be evaluating the other side coming from that perspective. So.
Shake and bake. Oh, I love it.
Nothing is going to work for that team.
All right. So Chris, you haven't done this game before, but Jordan is gonna spin for the team off the screen. And then we're gonna get a question that is on the screen right now. So I want to just note this here. We have 4 teams entering the Big 12. They were Utah 8-5 overall, 5-4 in the Pac-12. Colorado 4-8 overall, 1-8 in the Pac-12. Arizona Alamo Bowl champions, the Commish saw in person, 7-2 in the conference, the Pac-12. Arizona State 3-9 overall, 2-7 in the Pac-12.
Okay. Our first up is Colorado.
Oh God!
So
Why
we're
did we
gonna-
start with them?
I-
What is the
oh,
question? My
question's
God!
gonna be- hopefully,
Let's
it's
spin.
Can we pick the ad at the top of the wheel, by the way, instead of a question?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I mean,
Uh,
that's pertinent to the ad.
A WWE
Okay.
wrestler to coach this team. Oh, man.
Okay, so this is a specific question that I've loaded in here for Chris Vannini, and it's the
What are
first
the odds?
one we get.
What are the odds that it ends
What
up
are
on
the odds
LinkedIn?
that it comes up off the top rope, so to speak? But give the head coach of Colorado, the current head coach, compare him to a wrestler, and that is now the head coach of Colorado.
You know what's pretty funny? So WWE was at Big 12 Media Days. They showed up with two of their wrestlers and some PR people who I know. And they were there because WrestleMania is in Vegas next year at the stadium. So they were there to kind of promote that. But also, they wanted to talk to Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and try to collab on something. And they were able to get a picture with Shedeur, Big E, and Braun Breaker holding up the watch thing with Shedeur, and they got a picture of that. They tried to talk to Deion, but Deion big timed him. Was not interested in talking to the WWE folks.
Okay.
The wrestler I would pick here is the one who showed up at College Game Day at Colorado last year. That would be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who may or may not be in some trouble with the Army over some advertising situation going
with
on.
the XFL, UFL,
yeah, with the
whatever.
UFL. So, yeah,
because they lost negative 38 recruits, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why I read that. Jesus Christ.
And a decrease in your roster because of it. What's more Deion Sanders than that?
Yeah, I mean, he lost a few to the transfer portal. I will say that.
The Rock was not doing very well at recruiting. Neither has Deion Sanders outside of some transfers. So it's got to be The Rock, the guy who's everywhere, the guy who has a 100-person entourage around him, doing everything at all times, filming everything at all times. So, it's got to be The Rock.
You get
now. I'm just imagining Deion Sanders as Moana, like the guy in Moana.
If I see that Moana commercial again,
you're welcome.
No.
Oh my God, the Moana commercial. Make it stop.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking Commish at his word, and I'm keeping Deion as Moana, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson continues in his role as Maui.
I'm sorry.
No, this is the buddy comedy that we need.
Maui and Moana.
Yeah, Deion would not be Moana. That's not how that movie works.
Hey,
he could, but
Deion is hey.
Yep. I was also thinking Deion is hey.
Alan Tiddick.
Just wrap him in the middle of the ocean and he'll start to look around and
so
scream.
much trouble on this podcast.
Next up is Texas Tech.
Independence Bowl champs.
I was saying, how many Jimbo official buyouts is this school's endowment? While you guys figure that out, Gary Patterson just ended up not leaving his spot at Texas Tech. Not Texas Tech, at Baylor. They separate ways. And now I'm convinced that he's just trying to collect polos. We need to get him to Texas Tech. We need to get him to SMU. Mm-hmm. Gary Patterson at SMU would
oh my God.
Just pour gasoline on that fire.
He's already done the two that you never would have thought he would have done.
Yeah,
Baylor and Texas. It should be easy to get him everywhere else now.
Oh no, that iron skillet.
I come back having Googled the thing with an answer to the size of Texas Tech's endowment. Yeah. Texas Tech's endowment is $1.69 billion as of 2021.
I have 1.08 as of 2023, so it went up.
Okay. Or it went down?
1.08 billion? I don't know.
Yeah. It was 1.6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Texas Tech only. If you want system wide, it's 1.78 billion.
We'll go with that.
I need a commissioner's ruling on which one we're using.
The most recent y'all got, whatever.
Okay, we'll go with 1.78. I'm just out here adding zeros. Oh. My phone calculator won't let me go past 178 million. It doesn't go that high.
What if you turn it sideways? Does it give you more decimal places?
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good
point. Turn it sideways and give you more.
What is the Jimbo number?
Yes, that worked.
We all learned something today.
All right.
I believe it's about
22.25 Jimbos.
I just want to say this. I did the conversion to
Yeah.
Vietnamese dong.
Yeah.
How many dogs?
Oh God.
Yeah, so it's 42 trillion, 610 billion, 569 million Vietnamese dong.
That's so much dong.
That's so much
That's
dong.
a lot of dong.
That is a lot of dong. Sorry, French guy.
I mean, what is the endowment of the French pole vaulter in dong?
You know what's funny?
Okay.
No, hold on.
He is
I looked this up.
indisputably endowed, I would say.
If you want to say this, if you want to say it's in euro,
is so good.
if you want to say it in euro, I have it as 27,455 Vietnamese dong. That's in euro. If you want the French franc further,
Which hasn't existed in 20 years.
That's right. It is 4,185 Vietnamese dong. I had this looked up before the podcast.
The statement, the
case.
French Frankfurter, would make so many people so angry.
The French, no, I just put the French franc and then I put erder at the end.
I just need people to know that at minimum, French Polynesia is still using the franc. It's still out
Really?
there.
So
Yes.
I was thinking about that. French Polynesia Tahiti, is that like is that like Stanford being in the ACC? Like we're calling this France, and it's like about.
I mean, they did host the Olympics, in
right?
surfing, and we got to
If
see
you-
bare ass.
I
Yeah.
believe, like, if you
So
ask,
now we get both sides. Oh my god!
if you ask France, they will say that it is as French as Paris. Like they're very big
Yes.
into like this is as French as Paris because that's how they got to keep everything post colonial breakups.
Yeah.
It does have a hint of that, like, yeah, we're claiming them too, sure.
It's French Hawaii. It's fine.
It's a protectorate.
It is an overseas collectivity.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's an affiliate member of the conference, essentially.
Mhm. They're just in there for like rowing and like,
water skiing. Yeah.
French Polynesia is Notre Dame.
Next up is Oklahoma State.
Claim it, ACC.
And our question is, if this conference had someone leave it, you send it back to this conference, and this team now takes its place, and the conference adds Wazoo and Oregon State. I mean, this is like...
It's perfect.
Oh my god.
So who are we kicking out?
Okay, so no. Who is this person?
I don't understand the question.
I don't
Who's
either.
the team?
It again?
Let's explain this.
Who's the team?
This is Oklahoma State.
All right. So if this conference had someone leave it, you send it back to this conference. So now Oklahoma State is in the Pac-2.
I love it. That's
All right.
Okay.
So this team now takes. So it's Wazoo. No, or Oklahoma State is now independent in this situation.
Man, no, I'm
What is the
re-rolling this.
question?
This is very confusing.
Okay.
I don't
It's
understand this question at all.
All right.
Okay, now we have to follow Oklahoma State. I think we already followed
All
their
right.
count. Next.
Do we? I'm gonna do it. I'll
Do
get
it.
to you, Oklahoma State. I'll do that.
I want to say about Oklahoma State that I was looking at some of the new drawings for, I forget what stadium it was, and they were talking about how close the sidelines are. And every time someone mentions the sidelines on the stadium, every Oklahoma State fan jumps in going, "Well, look at ours, yo! You can reach out and hit someone in the head from like the fourth row."
It's just why I want to go to the game.
I lost my watch on the field at Bedlam last year trying to get through the crowd. I can confirm. It was crazy because the tunnel that media have to get to go to the press conference is in the corner where the student section is. And so everybody was coming from that corner and we had to get through them
Jesus.
to get to the tunnel. It was madness, and I lost my watch somehow fell off and all of that, and I lost it. That was sad.
There you go.
That was a crazy game, by the way. That whole
Yeah.
scene.
Yes.
Have they decided if they're ever going to play that game again, or are we going to go on hibernation for a while?
Well, Mike Gundy says, "Hey, it's not our fault. We're not the ones leaving." That's always his answer. So I don't know.
It'll be a
It
while.
may take another administration.
This feels like the Texas A&M thing. Well, I mean, they're conference now, but at like give it 10 years to cool off, and then we'll start again.
I brought some like fun fact and or trivia for
Oh, yeah,
each
go for it.
team. for this conference.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma State, I wrote down last year, that was their first time they'd won consecutive home Bedlam games since 1932. And now they won't do it anymore.
I bet you those
So
are
it's a
those are probably Pappy Waldorf days,
Is
man.
it Pappy Waldorf?
That might be the Pappy Waldorf.
Probably.
It's got to be
He was-
Pappy.
He was the only one that won like more than 3 or 4. What
Pappy
were
like
your
Waldorf.
fun facts for Tech and or Texas Tech?
Texas Tech, the director of track and cross country there is Wes Kitley, the father of offensive coordinator Zach Kitley. And he's produced 8 Olympic medalists, including some people that are competing this year. So shout out to Texas Tech track and field and cross country.
That's awesome.
And Colorado?
The other one was Colorado. Only Old Dominion had allowed more sacks than them last year. Colorado's
Oh no!
56
Oh
sacks
no!
allowed.
Oh no!
Yes, Pappy Waldorf. I checked.
Yeah,
It
there
is
we
Pappy.
go. It's Pappy.
Shout out to Pappy.
God, every time we do historical deep dives, it comes back to Pappy Waldorf.
And also P-Head Walker.
Yes.
And
from
Yost.
Wake Forest.
And yes. Next up, West Virginia.
Great.
Our question.
God. Beth loves this.
Find the weirdest piece of
Oh,
trivia,
good.
Pitt Girl, about West Virginia.
Pick Girl gets to go for West Virginia.
Go vibes only. What feels correct to you, Pitt Girl, about West Virginia? Go for it. Speak on your heart.
Oh my god.
What am I supposed to say here?
I don't know.
I mean,
The
Dragon
Wikipedia
Switch, you want.
page.
Go for
their
it.
their
Go.
their
Weird.
predilection for torching furniture, the fact that they have an adorable but extremely impractical method of public transit.
Yeah.
I am going to go look at the Wikipedia page, and I will come back with a fact
All
if
right.
the rest of you vamp for a little.
Go
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Let's
your
have
fact,
Chris
Chris?
go
yeah,
through
let's hear
with
Chris's fact
yeah.
or trivia.
Well,
point.
actually, I thought I'd written down West Virginia is the one I apparently did not.
Well, I
get
will
right
give
now.
you a
but
fact.
here's one nobody knows. Pat McAfee went there. I don't think anybody's heard that before.
No one's ever heard that before. Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'll give you this.
And may have gotten in a fight with a
hey,
paper towel
every-
with sheets while he was there. Who can say?
I'm gonna say this. I got a fact for you. Every single coach that has had mail dumped on him in the Duke's mail poll has gotten a contract extension. Shane Beamer, Mike Loxley, and Neil Brown.
I like it.
Did they extend Neil? They extended Neil Brown?
They did.
You promised you wouldn't talk.
But I think it was
You
one of
promised.
my.
Do you not remember?
It
Do you
still
not
counts.
remember Beth being sad about this
It's
and
just-
me being like,
It's just
"Heh."
like a year or two.
Yeah, I think it's
still
one of
counts.
those extensions. I think it's one of those extensions that doesn't change the buyout.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
it probably lowers the buyout.
it's-
I think.
It's yeah, I think it was more for show, but also kind of help them too. So
Yeah.
There we go.
And who knows? Maybe we'll beat 2 teams with winning records this year.
Hey, let's not get crazy, okay? Let's relax there. Pitt Girl, anything fun about West Virginia?
They improperly granted an MBA to the daughter of the governor at the time, who was Joe Manchin.
Yes.
in 2008.
Yes.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
I love how the state government made Marshall and West Virginia play each other. We need more states to do that and force these rivalries to come back.
Pennsylvania legislature, if you're listening, it would be really cool if you stopped trying to force people to figure out where the Joe Paterno statue is and started trying to make Penn State play Pitt. Thanks,
Also,
bye.
like if we're going there on that particular MBA, the person who this particular person who's Heather Bresch, who was the CEO of Mylan at the time, was responsible for jacking up the prices of EpiPens. So
Oh, fun.
yeah, she's great.
Hey, Beth, you want to talk 30 seconds on why you should never have to play Marshall at Marshall?
If somebody in their engineering department can show me how to straighten those goalposts, I'm all ears. But apart from that, also, I'm not looking to get the windows knocked off my car again.
I have a better fun fact.
Yeah.
Yay!
When the PRT began operating in 1973, U.S. President Richard Nixon's daughter Tricia was aboard for the demonstration ride.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Next up is Cincy. Our question is,
Would you eat Skyline chili? No.
find an Olympian about them.
Oh.
Okay. Chris, what's our fun fact about Cincy?
This is more of an unfun fact, but the
Oh, no.
Cincinnati Miami of Ohio rivalry is coming to an end. Miami canceled their 2025 and 2028 trips, and in response, Cincinnati canceled the 2027 and 2029 games. So after 26, they don't play again. And these guys have played 127 times, and that's too bad. And it's interesting to see the MAC school be the one that's kind of causing this to stop rather than Cincinnati. But and Miami won the game last year.
Right.
For the first time in a while. So that's too bad.
It is too bad.
I would, yeah. That.
So the Bearcats have a nice website up for their Olympians.
Mhm.
There's a couple of names on here you might know. Jordan Thomas from women's volleyball is
Okay.
a Bearcat. Oscar Robertson, the Big O,
Whoa.
Bearcat.
Here we go.
You know that?
Yep.
Won a 1960 gold medal.
Yep, absolutely. So like, yeah, there's some good folks on here.
We're gonna go with the Big O. Let's do that.
Just so I mentioned it. The last time that Miami had won that game before last year was in 2005.
Yeah.
It was a long Cincinnati win streak, and like any college football rivalry, this is a streaky game. Like there, you could also find Miami winning like 8 in a row, whatever. But yeah, stop by Cincy Stadium apparently. Next up is TCU, and our question is:
The Horned Frogs.
what's the name of their journalism school or building? I don't even know.
Okay.
Does TCU have journalism?
I don't know. Chris's fun fact. Go right ahead.
Good question. I don't know. Can any of you name who their new defensive coordinator is?
It's not Alex Grinch. I know that.
It's a former head coach who got fired last year.
Okay, definitely not Gary Patterson.
It's Andy Avalos.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
From
about
Boise
that.
State?
Yes, from Boise State. So not only
And
are they adding Dana Holgerson and Todd Graham, they're also adding Andy Avalos. That's a lot of
it's-
former head coaches there.
Wait,
It's
so you got
the Sonny Dice School for coaches who can't teach good again. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that we're reconstituting the Saban school without Nick Saban.
yeah, we're doing this.
It's
But-
more of a correspondence college at this point.
A commuter college.
It
Okay,
looks
well-
like their School of Journalism doesn't have a name. It is in the
Oh.
Moody South building, but their School of Communication does have a name. That's the Bob Schieffer College of Communication,
Sounds good.
of which the
So now-
School of Journalism is a part.
Wait, Bob Schieffer, that's the TV guy. Yeah.
Is
the
it
long-
like
there
ABC
is.
or is
Yeah,
or just
yeah.
CBS
Yes.
News?
Yep.
Bob Schieffer?
Yep.
Yeah, he went to TCU.
Okay.
Yep, alma mater TCU.
How
Bob
about that?
Schieffer. All
Bob
right.
Schieffer, he's awesome.
Faced the nation forever, right? In 60
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Apparently, he would wear purple socks to everything in honor of his alma mater.
He
Also-
is wearing a purple tie with little tiny Texases on it in his Wikipedia page.
Also, the press box at TCU was named after Dan Jenkins, the longtime Sports
Okay.
Illustrated writer, which is
That's
cool.
right. Talk about a press box. Like I went there for a bowl game. It was
The Frozen Armed
It was the Armed
Forces
Forces
Bowl.
It was so damn cold a couple years ago, and
Like,
I
SMU and Air Force? No, it was Air Force and
Baylor. It was Baylor.
Baylor. Oh my
Baylor,
god,
yeah.
yeah, because
I had-
Baylor was
I
in
had
their rival
never
stadium.
gone to that. I've never gone to that press box before. You have to go in through the loading dock, and I was so cold and so lost that night. It was. I ended
And
up
there's
giving
like two, and there's like two staircases next to each other, and they don't go to the same place.
not at all.
It's very weird.
Once I was inside, it was fun. That's when I got pictures of the Baylor band kids with the clarinets that were like frozen solid. It was great.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
the Spitzicle. I remember that.
Yeah, the Spitzicle. Yeah, I look, the two staircases thing that happened to me at my first ever credential game in New Mexico State. I took the upper staircase and I went up at like the bird's nest with the cameras.
Love that.
So I'm glad that just didn't happen to me. All right, perfect.
That was always my fear when I was still teaching band, because I would always end up being the person that would record halftime from like up in the press box. And so you end up going, I was teaching at a small school at the time, and some of those like camera nests are just like the top of the press box with no rails. And so it's me like on my stomach crawling out because I have a fear of heights, laying down flat like I'm a sniper, and just like having my camera over the edge. I was so afraid. Next up is Arizona, again a Big 12 school,
God.
and find their long snapper
All
and
right.
talk about them. Let's see.
Let's Arizona's long snapper. Let's go.
What's
Chris,
our
go
fun
ahead,
fact?
fun fact.
Similar to the last one, can any of you name who the offensive coordinator is at Arizona? Another
Dino
former, another,
Babers.
yes,
Dino
Dino.
Babers.
Dino
Oh,
Babers, who
Babers.
was he who was the offense who was the offensive coordinator in 1998 when they went 12-1.
That's right. He's coming home. That's right. He's done this job before.
Yep.
Dino back to Tucson from Syracuse.
So I've got Justin Holloway, number 31, redshirt senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is 6'3", he's from Venice, Florida.
Okay. Wait. So he's in Tucson from Venice, Florida.
Yes.
Where is Venice, Florida?
I
I
think
gotta look that up.
It's the
I
Venice
want to
of
say
Florida.
it's in like on the coast between Orlando and Miami, but don't quote me on that.
he's a
I'm looking it
civil
up.
engineering major. And he was a regional track athlete when he was in high school.
There you go.
No.
Other side, Pitt Girl. It's between Sarasota
Yeah,
and
Venice.
Myers.
Yeah, it's between Sarasota and Fort Myers. So he's, man, it's like Port Charlotte. Yeah, he's on the Gulf of Mexico side.
Looks like he has recorded 1 assisted tackle, which is the long snapper is not ideal.
Yeah, okay, that is true. If you're
Not
having
good,
to
not good.
make tackle as a long snapper, things have gone badly. Next up is Arizona State, of course.
Oh, consider Arizona State.
Question is, rate 1 to 10 the odds of this team making the playoffs or a bowl game. I feel like Arizona State.
I gotta look at Arizona State's schedule.
They open with Wyoming, which is a choice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but
think
then they're playing the Big 12, which is also a choice.
I mean,
True.
True.
But
Yeah,
season openers
it's
are
tough. Wyoming, Mississippi State, Texas State.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
tough.
Oh, God.
they go at Texas State.
They're
Why?
going to Texas State.
At
Is that-
San Marcos,
What week is that? Hold up.
week 3.
it's Brawl Week.
Oh,
It's the
But
third
it's-
day of Brawl.
Wait,
Week.
hold on.
Because if it were all week, I would.
Wait,
be
hold on. It's the 12th on a Thursday.
It's Thursday night.
Can
in
I
San
do
Marcos.
Thursday night San Marcos and then fly on Friday the 13th?
I'm already going to be in Pittsburgh at that point. But that sounds like if I were going to be in state, I would absolutely be at that game.
Oh, you can watch it from my place.
Yeah.
That should be
We'll
normal.
watch it together. That'll be fun.
with
Oh my
puddles.
God.
My only note on Arizona State, Cam Scatabo is one of my favorite players in college football.
Dude, I love Scatabo as a running back, and like they had a great wide receiver quarterback combo. It was like Badger, Scatabo, and then the quarterback. I think Rashida like transferred to Georgia, but it was a great like law firm name. But I love Scatabo. Like I would never want to try to tackle this dude ever in a phone booth or anything. Like oh man, he's one of my favorite players. And also I kind of like Kenny Dillingham just as like he's a young coach and he knows what he's inherited is a bit of a mess. And I hope they pull it out. 6 wins though.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 chance that happens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a. I'm gonna give him a.
Reminder for the listeners that Arizona State went 2-7 in conference in the Pac-12 and 3-9 overall last year.
I'm gonna give him about 350, 3.5 odds.
But by the way, Scatabo, last year, remember, he almost beat USC by himself.
Which was a lot of fun to watch.
He ran for 111 yards. He completed 2 of 3 passes for 42 yards. They were running some Wildcat with him, and it was really fun to watch. That was one of those like really late at night games.
Yes, we got the Petros special on that one.
I was hoping that they'd have him like kick an extra point or something. Just
if
to
only
round
drop
it out.
kick it like Doug Flutie. But who cares?
Have to be like when we read about quarterbacks from the 1910s where they have how many extra points, how many points did they kick to as part of their total?
Totally.
Next up is Houston.
Ooh, Willie Fritz. I got to see him throw a first pitch in the Pirates and Astros game. It was great.
What's their candidate for all name team? They have to be good.
Oh my God.
Oh, they gotta have some good ones.
What's our Houston fact?
Willie Fritz has been a head coach every year since 1993.
Jesus,
which is a long. Like everybody talks about Kirk Ferentz being the longest tenured coach in FBS since 1999 at Iowa, which is true. But Willie Fritz has been at like 6 different schools in that time since 93. And he only has 5 losing seasons in 31 seasons as a head coach. But he's been a head coach for 31 straight years, the last 31 years.
So he was head coach at Blinn.
Yep,
Blinn was really good. Central Missouri for a long time. Sam Houston State for a really good FCS run there. Georgia Southern, that was 2014, 2015. That was at their transition, a little before maybe. Then Tulane for 6 years, and now in H-Town.
All right, I'm done at number 0.
Yep, same.
It is Joseph Manjack the 4th.
Oh yeah.
Done. Manjacked. We're all
it's a recent
Manjacked
one.
up.
He was at USC.
No, he's been in Houston the whole
Yeah,
time.
no, he was at USC, I think.
No, he's been in Houston.
While we
previous
determine-
college. Previous college USC.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to submit for an honorable mention quarterback Jake Sock,
Yeah.
number 15.
Also,
Well, hopefully he doesn't get sacked.
I will submit for honorable mention Mecky Muse, who
Also
transferred in from Georgia.
remember
Jake
her.
Sock, nickname Sockman, describes himself as a silly goose.
Okay.
That's
I want that
wonderful.
on my profile. I'm a silly goose.
Big Pringles guy, fears quicksand.
Shout out to number 94, Garfield Lawrence.
Willie Fritz, by the way, did win 2 titles at Blen. I was just making sure about that. He won the National Junior College titles in 95 and 96. Did you see someone put together that giant list of like every football game going on this season?
Somebody gave that to us in our Discord, and we appreciate that. Shout out to the folks, the person on Reddit who did that. Jesus
Every
Christ.
game. It's insane. Next up
They're
is
in the
Kansas.
committee.
Kansas, our question is, College Game Day is coming on the 6th game of their schedule. Where are we sending ESPN? Dear God.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Kansas.
have they done Kansas? Did they do it last year?
Yeah, they did. Or was it 2 years
'cause
ago?
There was like that campaign to make Kansas happen. I didn't remember if it did happen or not.
Okay, we don't know what the 6th game on the schedule is. Hold on.
Yeah, we do. That's
Oh.
Arizona State.
Oh my-
At Arizona State.
Probably not.
Cool.
That's where they're going.
It's a slow news week.
It is. There's nothing going on. October 5th, Kansas.
My
Arizona State.
my fun fact about Kansas is that this is my team in college football 25. Devin Neal is insane.
Nice.
Just today, I rushed for 460 yards with him, and he got injured a minute into the fourth quarter. I may have rushed for 600 yards with Devin Neal against a computer in this game today, but it
All
didn't
right.
happen because that.
I gotta ask, Chris, what level are you playing on?
That one I played on varsity. I just pulled it
Okay.
up.
I am not
a
going to
little bit.
give you any crap for varsity at all because I beat Arkansas State as Louisiana Monroe 80-50 on varsity.
Yeah, I just started it because I had been at Ari Wasserman's house earlier and played him and beat him in a crazy game, and then I got back and I was like, I got some time. Let me just crank out a quick game against Oregon. And first play goes 85 yards. I'm like, let's see how many yards I can get. I'm like, I'm gonna get to 500. I'm gonna get to 600. But that dang wear and tear is his whole body was like red, and they were like, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. And I was like, no, he's not, and he did.
This is me running speed option with my quarterback and just being like, well, I'm gonna get the last little ounce of the work out of this guy. It's fine.
I have told people on the Kansas staff how good Devin Neal is in this video game and that they need to give him the ball. They need to give him the ball a lot this season.
It's almost like Quinshawn Judkins with his spin move that you see.
It is.
Also.
It is. It's exactly what Devin Neal is in this game. I love it.
Next up is Baylor.
Oh, they pay players.
Review their
1994 Baylor. Oh my
94
God.
94 Baylor. This is gonna be a dumpster fire. Chris, what's our Baylor fact?
Well, you guys already kind of said it, but it was the "We Pay Players" shirts, which is coming off of a quote that Dave Aranda said at Media Days. He said, talk about the recruiting success you're having. And he said, we pay the players. So,
oh my God, 94 Baylor. It's the 5-way tie of the Southwest Conference.
Oh God, that's right.
Holy shit. It is so sickos. They were 7-5 overall, 4-3 in the Southwest Conference. They shared the title with Texas, TCU, Texas Tech, and Rice.
Yeah.
Because Texas A&M was ineligible at 10-1, 6-1 in conference. They beat La Tech, they beat San Jose State, they beat Oklahoma State, they lost to USC, they beat TCU, they beat SMU, they lost to A&M, they lost to Texas Tech, they beat Houston, they beat Rice, they lost to Texas, and they lost in the Alamo Bowl against Wazoo. Oh, what a great year.
This Rice Baylor game was on ABC.
At Rice, and only 28,000 people were there.
It's 1994, y'all. There's only like 3 games on at a time, and ABC was like locked in.
It's a 5-way tie. Oh. ABC was ready for the 5-way tie. They've been sickos all along.
I also like that their last 2 games were scores of 63-35 and 10-3.
inside you there are 2 wolves.
It's a 10 out of 10 Baylor season.
yeah.
It's amazing.
yeah.
94 Baylor.
Next up is Central Florida, UCF.
Woo.
And our question is, pretty good.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Central Florida
This is
University. University of Central Florida. Let's see the Google reviews here.
I'm sure Stephen Godfrey's probably got one in there.
Oh, guarantee, yeah.
Hilton
Here we
Night
go.
Manager. Whoever's got it, read them.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find a good one.
I'll jump in first and give you guys some time.
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
My point here was the rocket launch that you can see from the field that they do. That's in the video game. They put that in the video game. That when you do like night game stuff, you can see that they'll do, and like Chris Fowler will like call it whatever, which I think was really cool. And I had to say that because UCF obviously claims that it owns space. I've been keeping track of this. I've been talking to UCF and all these other schools that are claiming space. You've got Purdue, Rice, Air Force has the Space Force, and it's Navy. Obviously, Navy has, I think, the most astronauts. So UCF claims it's space because I think like a third or 2/3 of the Kennedy Space Center employees went to UCF.
Did you? So I went to the Space Center while I was in Houston, and I was just like, can we make the Houston UCF Big 12 game like the space showdown or something?
Space race,
like,
yeah.
The
UCF
space race.
UCF offered to do that, and Houston didn't want any part of it. Is what?
Oh,
UCF
come
people told me.
on!
However, Arizona apparently has some space ties, and I think they're the space game this year for UCF, and UCF and Arizona are going to do some space stuff.
Come on, you got to do it. I mean, like Houston, come on, man. They got the Astros with the Space City jerseys. You got to do that.
Well, I mean, Rice Stadium is where Kennedy made the speech.
He did,
Right.
and I got like a photo. They have a thing in the Space
there.
Center.
Yeah.
They have like a podium that he spoke on inside the freaking Space Center. It's amazing.
Well, at the stadium too, they've got like a plaque and a stuff.
It's
of, like,
amazing.
Here's where,
It's so great. Why does Rice play Texas?
I just want to take this
ABC.
moment to remind everybody that there is an Auburn flag that has been to the moon.
Oh,
yes.
And that Auburn is the real space school because there was an Auburn flag on the moon.
Get out of here.
I think Michigan might as well. There was like one Apollo mission. I think there was like all Michigan people or something.
Yeah,
they used it when I was growing up as a kid, they gave it, there was like the commercial for the school all the time. They talked about it.
Purdue Pete came back from the moon, and when Neil Armstrong brought him back.
I haven't read a funny review. I'm just going to say the best part is it looks like UCF's social media team is actually responding to some of these reviews.
So,
Sean, we're sorry to hear you didn't enjoy your experience at UCF.
There is also a running theme in these where a lot of the 1-star reviews will say at some point they call it UCF because it stands for you can't finish.
Wow.
I did enjoy the person who compared UCF graduation unfavorably to the kindergarten graduations that they have attended.
Yeah, that was also very good.
And I have one that I will read out just because I hope that things have improved. From 7 years ago. I don't understand how this huge college doesn't have anyone who answers the telephone during normal business hours. I've been holding for financial aid for exactly 1 hour and 11 minutes and counting. This is ridiculous. Nikisha Tate, I hope you are not still on hold.
All right, next school.
Next up, we have Kansas State.
Ooh, Emaw.
The Fightin' Snyders.
Pitt Girl.
Oh,
What is this Civ team?
Civ team, Pitt Girl. Let's
While
go.
she's thinking, Chris, what you got?
Fun fact for K-State.
Kansas State. Co-offensive coordinator, a new promotion this year. Another recently fired head coach, not from last year, but who is the new co-OC now that Colin Klein has left for Texas A&M?
Went to A&M. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
He did.
I don't know who the co-OC is.
It's Matt Wells.
No.
Really?
Wow.
The former Texas Tech and Utah State head coach.
Matt Wells was actually up for the ULM job.
He was.
And
the New Mexico job.
And the New Mexico job, yep.
Okay, that's a name I haven't heard in quite a while. Apparently, he was an offensive analyst at Oklahoma the last couple of years. I didn't remember that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt Girl, what you feeling?
So K-State is obviously like an agricultural school.
They like
and
to
so you
farm.
need an agricultural civ,
Yes.
which is like kind of a thing, but not really a thing. And so I have asked Reddit, and Reddit says a civ that I have not yet played in Civ 6, but apparently India is very good for this if
Okay.
you are good at farming.
Okay.
There's a unique improvement that focuses on food. So
Farmageddon.
I'll take it.
Utah is up next. Again, a classic Big 12 school. Did you guys see the UCF like family photo drawing they did? And the
Suf
Utah,
was a little upset.
the Utah mascot is just glaring at Cosmo the Cougar, which feels correct. Utah, will they exceed the Ferentz line? 25 points a game. Utah, yes. Like
Yes.
Utah's
Yeah,
probably.
Utah's got to be 25 points a game for sure.
As long as Cam Rising is
As
healthy.
long as Cam Rising is healthy, I think they get 25 points a game.
If that isn't the case,
Please, God, let him stay healthy.
my fact for Utah, the Utah Baylor game this year is a non-conference game, even though they're both in the Big 12.
It's one of the conference, non-conference games. I think Arizona and K-State have one of those.
yeah, I believe
I
so.
think they do as well.
This
yeah.
is it happens in the ACC every once in a while too, because like Wake Forest and UNC want to play each other more
Mhm.
frequently than every 7 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Utah only crossed the Ferentz line 6 times last year.
Okay,
Well,
so
Cam was out all last year, so
that's right.
Some
yeah.
of them were
Yes.
by a lot though, so
Yeah.
it comes out average wise. I think they're still okay because they beat Arizona State 55-3.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I
points.
remember that one. That was good.
That was unsafe.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oof.
Next up, Iowa State.
Matt
Question should
Campbell.
be, is Matt Campbell going to survive this year?
Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
Pull it out. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not doing all of these.
No,
Okay,
that's far
As
too
much
many.
as you can.
We're just gonna say we're gonna call them a Pokemon. That's fine.
Okay, call Iowa State a Pokemon, and go ahead, Chris, if you want the fun fact for Iowa
Yeah,
State.
go for it.
Well, first for a Pokemon, I'm gonna go with Pidgeotto because they've got
there
the
you
gust.
go.
They do the gust. And they create the
Okay.
cyclone.
I gotta
I
sit
think
this out.
Pidgeotto can learn Hurricane too.
Yeah, there you go.
Not that it's the same, but close enough.
So my Iowa State fact, they haven't won a conference title since 1912, but I think 2020 should count. They had the best record in the Big 12 that year, and in the old days, that would have counted as a conference championship. I like them this year. I think I'm actually picking them to win the Big 12.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Okay.
They're really experienced. They bring a lot back, and they don't have a gambling investigation taking out some really good players this year. That's always good.
Well, knock on wood. They still got a
Fingers
couple of
crossed
weeks
on that.
before the
Let's-
season starts.
Okay.
May I submit Tornadus as an alternate Pokemon for Iowa State?
I was looking up the name. I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, it's the tornado Pokemon. Yes. This is
I only recognize the first two gens. I don't know.
This is like Gen 4 or 5 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is from Black and White.
It's
I
5.
think.
It's 5.
That's
Yeah.
not it's not canon to me.
My kid is very into Pokemon right now because he's like 5, and it's funny that so much of the shit is still Gen 1, like all the stuff, like he
Mhm.
has like the cute little like Pokemon underwear, and it's all like Snorlax and Gengar and like the classics. It's none of the new ones.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it's got to be like. By the way, Jordan, do you ever go to the National Video Game Museum in Frisco?
Love it. Yeah.
It's really cool, and they've got like a whole big Pokemon like section there, and it's like, you
Anytime,
realize, man, Gen 1 was so long ago. Actually, that reminds me. While we're sitting right here, I've got with me a Charizard card.
Ooh.
I
That's
keep that with me.
fancy.
It's not mint condition, so that hurts it. But
I keep
it
I'm
by
all
me.
like, whatever. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, Commish is old. He's a Gen Xer theoretically. Or someone called me a geriatric millennial the other day, and I got really offended.
I am technically a geriatric millennial.
I'm gonna start putting together like groups of Pokemon and sending them to you to see if you can figure out if it's a group of Pokemon or a law firm.
I like that. Yeah.
oh, by the way, I downloaded the Delta emulator on my iPhone. To
Oh
play
yes.
Pokemon, and I play that all the time now when I'm on airplanes. I just connect it to my Xbox controller and take it with me, and I've been doing that all the time.
Can I give you, if you feel like upgrading this experience, I cannot more highly recommend this thing, which is an emulator inside a case that looks an awful lot like a Game
I
Boy.
was gonna say it looks like a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's not. It's a lot cheaper than a Game Boy, and you don't have to have cartridges. Would
That's
recommend.
pretty cool.
Last up, of course, is BYU.
Oh, the Cougs.
And
Oh my god.
how many big cats do these play? Does
Okay.
BYU play? Do they play
All right.
Wildcats this year? Let's see here.
Are we counting the spring game?
Sure. I mean,
yeah,
count
they
it.
play themselves. Yes.
I hope they beat themselves.
Can't do that in Utah.
All right, my BYU stats. So they've got Jake Retzlaff, obviously the quarterback.
Yeah.
As of the spring, he was one of just 5 Jewish students at BYU. His nickname is BY Jew, and everybody seems to have fun with it. So that's cool.
So we've got Kansas State.
Yeah.
We got
Wildcats.
Arizona.
More Wildcats.
And we got Houston.
Got a Cougar.
That's what I see. Do I see anybody else?
No, that's
3
it.
No,
Cougars.
that's correct.
So
Okay.
3 cats. so
I'm
to speak.
feeling
Yeah.
I'm feeling 1 and 2 in those games. Lose to
The Lukey's
Arizona.
not a cat.
Lose to Arizona, lose to K-State, beat Houston. Feels like my vibe. That feels me.
Yeah, 1 and 2 sounds fine. I don't know who does what, but it's the Big 12. Who knows?
I mean, yeah,
This is a random number
Yeah.
Yeah,
generator.
essentially.
Yeah, I mean Houston shows up and wins the conference.
Eventually
we all
they
kind of
grab-
shrug.
They probably grab a cougar tail, I would say, in Houston.
I am absolutely going to make predictions in Big 12 games based entirely off random number generators this year. Like randomly predict outcomes and see how close I get to the real thing. Because I got a feeling that we're going to get real close on that.
Perfect.
Commish, we're running long. Do you want to? I don't know if we're going to be able to get the entire American.
Oh my God. Is Chris okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
On time?
Okay.
Okay.
We're running a little long.
We'll try to do it. All right.
We'll move on this
So
one.
let me do the American. SMU is gone. So they are now ACC and they are claiming Katie Ledecky medals.
Yes.
So the remaining American, I don't think anybody's joining the American. Wait,
Yes,
no,
they are.
sorry,
No, Army is.
sorry,
Army is, yeah.
sorry. The Army, the Black Knights are joining the American. So let's go ahead and do the schedule thing. Tulane 8-0 in conference, 11-3 overall. UTSA 7-1 in conference, 9-4 overall. Memphis 6-2 in conference, 10-3 overall. South Florida 4-4 in conference, 7-6 overall. Rice 4-4 in conference, 6-7 overall. Navy 4-4 in conference, 5-7 overall. The Mean Green of North Texas 3-5 in conference, 5-7 overall. Florida Atlantic 3-5 in conference, 4-8 overall. UAB and Trent Dilfer 3-5 in conference, 4-8 overall. Tulsa 2-6 in conference with Gus T, 4-8 overall. Charlotte Biff Poggi 2-6 in conference, 3-9 overall. Temple 1-7 in conference, 3-9 overall. And East Carolina 1-7 in conference, 2-10 overall. Army is joining the conference. They were 6-6 overall last year. As of note, they did lose to ULM in week 1 after they turned the ball over 5 times. So thank you for that, Army.
Okay, our first school is Memphis.
Memphis.
And our
Shout out to
question-
the Bass Pro Pyramid.
When is the city's next solar eclipse?
Okay.
Okay.
Fun fact. So remember 2017, we had the big eclipse. That was the one that Trump looked at.
Yeah.
Yes.
I-
Yes.
I was at Memphis that
Oh.
day with the
Ooh.
Memphis staff, and we all went out to watch it, and it was way too cloudy, and we didn't see it, and it was really sad. The coaches on that staff included Mike Norvell, Ryan Silverfield, Dan Lanning, Kenny Dillingham, Chris Ball, all of whom I think Ball got fired recently, but they were all head coaches.
Let's
not
say
long
that's
after that.
a loaded ass staff. I forgot about
My
that.
God, Memphis. They were all imbued by the powers of Bass Pro Pyramid.
They did get a partial for the 2024 one.
Okay,
Yeah, it was pretty close,
Count
but
it.
not
we're
Give
gonna
that
count
to
it. Next
not
school.
totality.
Next up, we got.
Oh, real quick. My Memphis
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're the favorite. They're the favorite to win the league. Their road schedule is very difficult this year. They got Florida State, Navy, South Florida, UTSA, and Tulane, all on the road. Going to be really tough. Also, that Florida State game was scheduled because Silverfield and Norvell are friends and work together and all that stuff. So Memphis is getting like $1.2 million out of that, I think.
Wow.
Timeanddate.com has clarified for me that the next total solar eclipse in Memphis will not be visible before the year 2200.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, Memphis has some time to get good for that, to get better for that one. Next up is my beloved North Texas Mean Green. I am a double degreed Mean Green. So, and I went to my first football game once I graduated. Good to know.
Like any good music major should.
I know. It was a 1974 season.
Guaranteed they were called North Texas State back then.
Oh, yeah.
What is our fun fact for North Texas?
I didn't have an exact number, but they had a ton of transfer turnover this year. Like they brought in a lot of new guys, a lot of guys on their way out. Very weird for a second year.
Oh my God.
This was a Hayden Fry year.
Hayden Fry, North Texas. There were 2-7-2.
Yep.
They lost to SMU, lost to Tulsa, lost to Lamar. They tied Drake 24-24, lost to Louisville. They beat New Mexico State. They lost to Memphis. They beat number 20 San Diego State 14-9. They tied Wichita State 10-10. They lost to West Texas State, which I believe they were there. That's the Buffalo out in Canyon.
Yeah.
They lost it, and then they lost to Long Beach State at Fouts Field in Denton, Texas. So
two of these teams no longer exist. Like we're
by Hayden Fry, the Iowa coach.
I just want to also mention that only 2,500 people watched that last loss at Fouts Field to Long Beach State. Ouch. Yeah, as a graduate music student at North Texas, the football team was just not something on my radar.
I went to a game 2018 or 19, and they held a pro wrestling event on the field afterward, and the Von Erichs were there. So anybody who's seen the Iron Claw, Kevin Von Erich was there.
Nice. Shout out to the ULM transfer who went to North Texas last year. Chandler Rogers, he left ULM, and then now he's at Cal. So
that's right because I went to North Texas's first game last year, which was against Cal.
Yeah,
and that was when I was like, I was really high on Cal after that game because Cal looked like fire. And
Cal's going to North Texas. Arizona State's going to Texas State. All these Pac-12 schools. I don't know why they were doing G5 road games in Texas, but
so bizarre.
I like it.
Our beloved Green Wave up is next up. Tulane.
Oh, Tulane. What we got? Don Summerall.
You're watching the teams games within alcohol.
It's a hurricane.
It's a hurricane.
Yeah. Tulane is a hurricane. It's it. You're getting one from Patos. You're at the piano bar, and you're screaming for the folks to play Piano Man. It's not like I've done that before in my life.
And our fun fact.
They are still investing big in that program. They're in the process of building a bubble for a practice field.
Yes,
I think it got delayed, but I talked to Summerall at Media Day, and he said that
bubble is coming. But like the only problem is like they're trying to keep it on campus, and campus is so compact to put the bubble. Like they only have like a half. It's a little bit more than a half practice field right outside of Ullman, but they'll find a way to put that bubble in somewhere.
Okay, next up is Rice.
Woo!
And our question is, coolest facial hair on the team. While we're looking on that, Chris?
They got quarterback EJ Warner.
Yeah, they do.
From Temple, right?
Yes.
From Temple. Within the conference, which is
That's our from owl to owl. He was our winner of the Detmer last year. He had the best Detmer percentage, which is basically our calculation on the most sickos quarterback that you have.
Lots of TDs, lots of interceptions.
Lots of TDs, lots of interceptions, lots of yards, just slinging it without any care in the world.
Yeah, so remember, there's 3 different owl teams in the American, and he went from one to the other. I don't know who won. I don't know if we determined who won the Owl Award last year. I think so. Last year, okay, Rice won it last year because Rice beat FAU, and neither of them played Temple.
Yeah.
So now Rice gets the Temple
But
quarterback.
UTSA is going to run the Owl Gauntlet. They play Kennesaw State, they play Rice, they play Temple, and they play FAU.
Wow.
That's so good.
That's a lot of owls.
The reason I remember EJ Warner is because Rice was my first team, my first NCAA or EA Sports College Football 25. That was my first rebuild. Was Rice. They don't have Sammy the Owl in the game, unfortunately.
Oh,
we got facial hair here.
Looking.
The roster website does not want to load for me. It's
come
being
on,
extremely
Rice.
uncooperative.
So I managed to get it to load, kind of. Rice, fix your website.
It's probably because you're all on it, and they have.
We're all Googling it at the same time. They're not ready for that. Rice is not ready.
Yeah, Rice is not ready to have 4 people looking at its roster at the same time.
I enjoy number 11, Tyson Thompson, who's rocking the Amish beard.
Oh,
yeah. I'll drop him in the chat. Let's see here. I like him.
Yeah, this is like.
Oh wow, this is an awful.
This website is so bad. Like Rice is like, there's nobody gonna look at our roster.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on, Rice.
They don't want people to tamper and come take their players. And if you don't know who's on the roster, how are you gonna do them?
Jordan popped down to number 75, Blake Bonish.
Yeah, let me see if I can do this.
Who has a very fluffy beard.
Fluffy beard.
75, scrolling. Oh, it's not loading fast enough. That's the other problem. The scroll isn't loading.
Shout out to their all-name team cornerback, Mobility.
Oh, yes. I forgot about him.
Yeah, which I think we got tagged in a tweet about the all-name team, and they let it off with General Booty. Shout out to them.
And I will give you an honorable mention for Mullet. For number 91, Alex Paqueta.
Beautiful.
Quality mullet. Good mustache to go with the mullet.
Yes.
Look at the lettuce.
He's a punter
Weston.
because, of course, he's a punter.
Okay, I'm going to say I need Weston Crop or Krupp.
Okay,
look at that beard. Number 79? Holy crap. He's from Biloxi, Mississippi. He's got the top and the bottom of his facial hair that looks the exact same.
Yep, no, I love him. He wins.
All right, Weston Crop.
Weston Crop, you are the winner. From Biloxi.
Oh, amazing. I'm going to DM that to Chris right now.
He is a broken JPEG on mine. He broke the internet.
The internet, I'm DMing Chris that right now.
Yeah, Chris, you need to see this. He's glorious.
The hair has impressive volume.
It is like, Vidal Sassoon, whatever.
I will say that EJ Warner was so much fun to watch last year at Temple game. Like the Temple games that I did watch, EJ Warner was a lot of fun. And I hope that he does the same thing at Rice that what's his face did. Like had
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels, thank you. Like a pretty good year.
I gotta say, the beard without a mustache look to me is with the big hair is strange. This is what Quinn Ewers was, just not as much. And everybody talked about Quinn Ewers' hair. They never talked about the weird beard he had, and he definitely wins. There's a lot going on in this picture.
It feels like there's a mullet there that we don't see, but there's got to be some sort of mullet there.
No, I see the mullet. You can see it.
It is.
And I think there might be an attempt at a mustache there.
Oh, but it's like the mustache that I can grow. It's
but
not great.
Yeah, I mean, it's if I'm grading it, it gets an incomplete.
Describe my mustache.
Brutality.
UAB is up next. And we have our question. Map schedule the team of the Oregon Trail. Predict which game will cause death by dysentery.
Game 2, week 2, when they go to Monroe, they're gonna die.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's
You have died.
You have died in Monroe, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm. That's easy. It's old. If not that, then perhaps South Florida.
Chris, what do you got a fun fact for UAB besides Trent Dover is a scratch golfer and he's played a ton of golf?
Well, that was one I was going to say.
Okay.
Well, that was one of them, but yes, he is a scratch golfer. He is the best golfer among all college football coaches. He told me he golfed when he got let go at ESPN in 2018. He golfed 218 times that year, which is so many times.
I just got fired. Let me golf 218 times.
He's really good at golf. And then the other thing is the offensive coordinator there is Alex Mortensen, the son of the late great Chris Mortensen.
Oh, that's cool.
awesome.
There you go. Next up is East Carolina.
Ooh, the Pirates.
The question is,
They had a rough year last year.
what's the name of their marching band? I hope it's good.
I hope it's good.
It's got to
Like
be something good.
Is it like the Pirate Posse?
They're the Marching Pirates
Okay.
and the Sound of Pirate
I
Nation.
like that.
Okay.
Sound of
Okay.
Pirate
I like
Nation I
that.
can get behind. Okay. That's
Uh,
Yeah.
like six,
It's 5.
6.
It's fine.
No, like a
Yeah.
6?
It needs. I
Yeah.
feel like it needs to be more like fancier. If you're a pirate marching band, like you gotta really go hard.
You got to give me some sort of like, give me some more like
The
pirate
drum line
fun.
goes by the Rhythmic Force.
Ooh,
Like
I like that. I
Ooh.
like that.
Like Buccaneer Brigade would be good. I don't know. I'll
Ooh.
workshop this.
The Swabbies.
What is our ECU fun fact?
The pirate poop deck.
Cornerback.
That's the student section.
Cornerback Siobhan Ravel. He was a JUCO player a couple years ago, working at an Amazon warehouse when he drove overnight to ECU's prospect camp. And the ECU coaches were blown away by this guy. They were like, holy crap, where did this guy come from? He didn't have good grades, so nobody kind of noticed him. But he had a monster year. He committed to ECU right away, didn't go to the NC State prospect camp after that. And now he's a NFL draft prospect. And I talked to him at Media Day, and Mike Houston just talked him up. And they've put some guys in the NFL recently. He's someone to watch for, Siobhan Ravel.
I'm imagining he drove like the Amazon delivery van.
That's what I asked. That
never-
he did not. He was
Okay.
not a delivery. He was not a delivery person. He was working at the warehouse.
Mike
Drive the
Houston.
forklift.
Cool. Okay. Next up
Is he forklift certified?
You
is
better be.
It better be.
next one is Temple. Hoot hoot.
Ooh, hoot hoot. Shout out to Stan Drayton.
Would you swim in the nearest body of
Oh,
water? That's
God, I
cool.
You
don't
do
know about
not
that.
do
Do
not
not.
swim in the Schuylkill. I do not. Do not. Also do
Temple-
not swim in the Delaware.
I was going to say, is Temple closer to the Schuylkill or the Delaware? It'd be close.
Yeah, let me look.
But it's
Or
no
either way,
either
don't
way,
swim with
right?
it.
Yeah, it's a no either way.
Yeah, I mean,
It's almost exactly equidistant between them.
Of course it is.
LeBron James crossing the
so
Delaware.
for the Philadelphia Olympics, we are doing open water swimming in the Delaware. We're just
Oh
going to
my
throw that out there right now.
God. The Philly
My,
Olympic.
my Temple fun fact: they have not won a road game since September 2021.
Oh, no.
Okay,
They've lost 14 straight road games.
Shout out to Liam from Well, There's Your Problem podcast. I believe he is going to the Temple at Oklahoma game in Norman.
I think I'm going to meet him
So
there. Yeah.
let's break that streak right there and get Brent Venables in a lot of trouble.
If that happens and I'm at that game,
Oh
'cause
my
if I go to
God.
that game, I'll be wearing cherry because I will not support
Oh.
Oklahoma.
No,
And
you can't.
I
You're a
will
Texas
I
fan.
will get my ass run out of that stadium. I guarantee it.
If you and Liam need help getting bailed out of jail, let us know.
Norman will never unlock them.
No, oh no.
We
That's
need to
so
make sure that we've got to make sure that our Patreon bail fund is decent.
Yeah.
So join our Patreon. Help us create bail fund.
In college, we used to keep in our travel kit for the band. We used to keep a copy of our director's driver's license just in case we needed to contact him to get bailed out of things. This is back in the day. It was great.
Oh my God.
I know. I said USF. What's the best named bowl this team has played in?
Oh my
I feel
God.
like South Florida has played in some those weird bowls.
South Florida football.
I see a Hawaii Bowl. There's a
Okay.
Beef O'Brady's in here.
Oh, duh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that one.
There's a
Bowl.
Gasparilla.
Yeah,
Oh.
they've done the good run.
I think Beef O'Brady's is going to take it.
Yeah.
Beef O'Brady's for sure.
Yeah, Gasparilla Military, Boca Raton, Fiesta, Peach, Cure,
They played,
St.
they played,
Petersburg,
in
Beef
Papa, they played in Papa John's Bowl.
The Papa John's.
PapaJohns.com.
The
bowl.
.com. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh wait, hold up. They played in the Magic Jack Bowl too.
Oh,
oh,
my
did
God.
they? I didn't see that one.
I
Yeah.
thought they were in the Bitcoin Bowl, but that was actually UCF. Looked it up.
They played in they played in all the fun ones. Then never mind. It's hard to pick on this.
The
They played in all
Meineke
of them.
Car Care Bowl.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
mean,
I
Who
go
hasn't?
Beef O'Brady's.
Beefo. Either
Wait.
Beef or Macho Jack.
Wait. They played in the Brute Sun Bowl in 2007.
Yeah, back when Brute sponsored the Sun. Yeah, that was
In El Paso is like Brute Cologne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining a stadium full of people that smell like Brute cologne, and I'm real sad now.
In El Paso?
Yeah, exactly. That was that combination. That's an olfactory choice right there.
They've won.
It wouldn't have been the saddest thing to happen in that era of the Sun Bowl.
That is true.
They've won. They have won the last international bowl game. They won the International Bowl in 2009 against Northern Illinois in the Rogers Center in Toronto.
A Jerry Kill coached Northern Illinois, by the way.
A Jerry Kill coached Northern Illinois. Jim Levitt was their head coach.
That's right.
From Harlingen, Texas.
Oh, hey.
Shout out to Jordan.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. What's our USF fact?
They're building the stadium.
Yeah, they are.
It's taken some time, but they're finally have that coming. They got a guy named Weatherford. I forget the first name, but he's Drew Weatherford's brother. I don't think he's an alum, but he's like a big time money guy involved in them, and he helped convince Alex Golis to take the job.
Steve Weatherford, the punter?
No. I think his name's I don't remember his name, but yeah, they're investing like big time. I think they're opening a football building soon here, and then the stadium. They're like starting to
Did we have like stadium renderings earlier in the podcast? Because that's what we're getting for South Florida right now.
Yeah, we're getting design.
Okay. Next up, we got 5 left.
Okay.
Charlotte.
Ooh, Biff Poggi. Hoagie.
I need Charlotte to do better this year so that I will be a
Oh my God. Yes, let's do it.
Maryland scenario. This team goes undefeated through the end of September. Who do they beat and how does the season finish?
Oh my God.
James Madison and UNC are going down.
Okay, then if they do that, if they beat James Madison and UNC.
Oh, I think they're taking down Indiana too.
Yes, and Indiana and Rice and also Gardner-Webb.
That's an A+ season right there.
Wonderful.
So like Charlotte's made the playoff multiple times in my college football dynasties. Like they're just like having great years all the time. They're one of those teams that is one of the glitches, I guess. So yeah, that could happen.
Oh my God. If like Biff Poggi beats North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Mac Brown has got to retire, right?
Oh, that halftime, that in the game handshake is going to be one of the iciest things you've ever seen.
Sleeveless Biff and Mac Brown puppy jacket. That can happen.
My Charlotte fact, they had 29 kids on last year's team from St. Francis Academy, where Biff Poggi used to coach, the high school in Baltimore. They had 29 kids last year. This year it looks like they have 12.
Okay. FAU. Our question is
another owl.
Change the mascot to the polar opposite. What's the opposite of an owl?
Well, owls are nocturnal, right?
So something diurnal.
Okay.
Daytime.
So we need a daytime bird.
Land or sea creature.
Okay.
I think mouse might be good because that's what they eat.
Maybe like a something that's underground.
A vole.
Yeah, that's
vole. It. Yeah, the Charlotte voles. I like
maybe
anteater.
Maybe owls are like stereotypically like super smart animals. So like, what's the dumbest animal?
My dog.
Turkeys.
Is it the dodo bird?
Turkey, I think is good. I like that.
Turkeys are really stupid.
Yeah.
The FAU Hokies.
FAU turkeys. There you go. Next up
real quick, my FAU fact. They are 1.8 miles from the beach, which is part of their marketing. They have that on their equipment truck, and I've been there. It's very, very close. That's a really good recruiting pitch. You can see the beach.
I feel like that's like the TripAdvisor review.
Yeah.
Like 1.8 miles away from the beach. When you like book a hotel, it just says 1.8 miles away from the beach.
Yeah, it's the like advertising copy on Airbnb for like a random condo.
Yes, it is. Tom Herman.
1.8 miles from the beach. Free parking.
Tom Herman is 1.8 miles from the beach.
There was a friend of mine who was working in marketing at Penn State and was trying to get them to put on their signs that they're less than an hour from Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore is a small town in central Pennsylvania.
I've been there. It's cute. there's not a lot going on.
Not a beach.
Next up,
It is on the North Branch Susquehanna.
Yeah.
Jim 10 and Lions.
next up is Army.
Ooh, the Black Knights.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction. West Branch Susquehanna.
Okay.
Shame on me.
Oh my God.
How much of this team improves by playing in the Kibby Dome? If we took Army and put them in the Kibby Dome, how much better does it get? I don't think so, because Army Stadium is really nice, and like, I don't want to move them out of New
But
York.
they have to go clear across the country now. Look, I would love the Army Navy game to be in the Kibby Dome.
Yeah, okay. They do
Okay.
rotate the game around.
Yes.
But Army needs to play in bad conditions. That's the
Okay.
thing. And they're
That's
always going to
true.
have good conditions.
Oh,
Can they
indoors.
do it?
Can I sell you on November 23rd when Notre Dame heads to the Kibby Dome to play Army?
Yep. Sold.
So, done. Any
Well-
fun facts about Army?
Well, one of them was The Rock, but we already talked about that and how
Okay.
that didn't go well. But the other, Jeff Monken downplayed their offensive switch because remember they went to a shotgun a lot last year, and then they kind of changed things up late in the year as they got rolling again.
Well,
He told me that they were in the gun a lot, especially against Navy and stuff like that. So I think you'll still see that. So they kind of had that gun option was the whole thing, and it didn't exactly go well, but they figured their offense out at the end of the year, and I'm curious how much they do with it this year.
They did, and because I remember they lost the first game to ULM, which I mentioned earlier in jest, but like they had 5 turnovers, and they completely kind of like changed their option method after that game. So it was, I think they were supposed to get out of Monroe with a win by like just messing around with the offense, but it didn't work out. But yeah, I think that they kind of got it rolling at the end of the year, and Army should be good. It's going to be weird to see them in a conference, though. It's going to be strange.
It's been a while. I think the last conference they were in was Conference USA way back in the day. Like proto.
Yeah.
What
was that, like 2003?
It was
the conference
video game.
The Conference USA that is pretty much the American now.
Yes, that one. So it's coming home, I guess.
Conference USA turned into the American.
Yeah, they really did.
Kind of.
UTSA are Roadrunners.
Meet
Our
me.
question is,
All right.
Commish,
Oh my God. I gotta say,
I
I have to say the UTSA schedule in my Corvallis love voice.
your sweet night radio station.
Okay. So I gotta do the 96.9 FM.
Yep.
Okay.
Get your schedule up.
Welcome to 96.9 FM. We have your UTSA Roadrunners welcoming in Kennesaw State to the Alamo Dome.
Oh, that feels gross.
Nope. Yeah.
Nope. Absolutely.
Then they go up I-35
No.
to Bobcat Stadium. Then the next week they go to Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium.
I didn't know they were
Back.
playing
They're back home to the Alamo Dome against Houston Christian. Then they're heading out east to face the Pirates of East Carolina at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium.
Nope. Don't like that at all.
I might have to take my headphones off.
Oh. The Roadrunners are going to be like white on rice at Rice Stadium. Back home at the Alamo Dome, and then Skelly Field at H.A. Chapman Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then 3 straight at home in the Alamo Dome. And at the end of the year, it's you, me, and Misha Stadium. Oh, yeah. West Point.
Have any of you seen Deadpool and Wolverine came out recently?
No,
not yet.
So is this a nobody?
Nope.
Okay,
No,
well,
I've seen it.
There you go. Arthur has.
Okay, then I won't say. I was gonna say you sound like a character in that movie, but I will not say it for the people who have.
Oh, yeah. I need to go see the movie now.
I didn't realize they were at Texas State and at Texas. That's an impressive draw.
Back to
didn't
back.
have
I-35.
sensual meeps on my bingo card for tonight, and really, that's on me.
My
oh,
fun
yeah.
fact, their quarterback.
God, no. Done. Go ahead. I'm going to mute him. Go ahead and talk, Chris. It's fine.
Their quarterback may be Owen McCown, son of Josh McCown. And Josh McCown, I did not realize, is the Vikings quarterbacks coach. He was coaching like high school ball a couple years ago.
Shout out to the French pole vaulter.
Nope, muted you. You're fine. Done.
We are safe.
We're safe. I was marked
Bird
safe
dog.
from Krish's voice. And last up for tonight is Navy. Anchors away. They swapped schedules with their second conference opponent. Would they have more or fewer or the same level of wins with that schedule? Chris, what's our Navy fun fact?
Their defensive end, I think name's pronounced Crane LaFond. His sister won the gold medal in triple jump, as we mentioned earlier. Tria LaFond for Dominica. Navy posted a video of head coach Brian Newberry calling him over to tell him in front of the team that his sister won the gold medal, which was awesome. And also
awesome
made me wonder why he wasn't able to watch it instead of having to be at practice, but very cool for that family.
So
Okay.
you swap out with Navy then, I believe.
No, this is
Swap
Navy.
out with Memphis.
They're not swapping with themselves.
They're swapping with Memphis.
Which means they lose Air Force and Army.
Yeah. And they gain North Alabama, Troy, Florida State, and MTSU.
Okay, that's the Florida State makes the schedule significantly rougher, I believe.
But I think they lose Notre Dame.
They do lose Notre Dame.
Okay, so it's about probably the same. It's about 50-50 then. That's pretty equal. Yeah.
It'd probably be about the same. Maybe one more win for Navy.
Okay, folks, we're at the end of that. Chris,
Actually, I think there's one more. We didn't do Tulsa, did we?
Did we not do the Golden Hurricane?
I blew past Tulsa. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Man, you did not see Twisters either.
Good save, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
I felt like we had one more, but oh my God.
You want to do that one or do a different one?
Arthur, do you want to do the Yinzer or no?
I mean, do we really need to do that? I feel like we've done that one a couple
Okay.
of times.
It's another one.
Fine, it's on the thing.
Out of their weight of their kicker.
We did that. We did the Vietnamese dog thing
Let's
already.
see.
We don't need
Picker wheel is rigged.
pick rules rigged.
We already did Beth, Minnesota.
Beth,
Yeah, I don't
Minnesota
need to do
accent.
that
We
tonight.
we shouldn't want to do that again.
Is it a Sheets or a Bucky's
okay.
town? Tulsa?
The Buck.
Tulsa
It's a
Bucky's town,
Bucky's.
right?
Tulsa's
I'm sure.
Bucky's. Probably
100%.
a QT though.
Yeah.
What makes it a Bucky's town?
Well, for one, it's close to Texas more
Yeah.
than anything else. But
Hey,
Is there, and forgive me for my ignorance of the geography of Oklahoma, Bucky's are generally like on major interstates,
Yeah.
right?
is Tulsa like
What
off
is
of 40?
what is the major interstate running through Tulsa? Is there like a major interstate that runs through
It
Tulsa?
feels like
Yeah,
it's
I
off
think
of
it's
like
44.
Interstate 40.
44.
Is that wrong?
44.
It's 44. 40 goes
Okay.
right south. 40 goes south of it. 44 goes up to Tulsa from Oklahoma City.
So 44 goes from
So
Oklahoma City, Tulsa,
it's St.
Springfield,
Louis.
Missouri to St. Louis. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's Tulsa's a Bucky's town for sure. And our Tulsa fun
Yeah.
fact is
they had 4 quarterbacks throw at least 30 passes last year.
I remember this. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Oy.
Did not go well.
Chris, thank you so much. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
Theathletic.com and just Chris Vannini wherever you do social media stuff. We also got the Until Saturday podcast with The Athletic. Got some stuff going on there. So check that out.
Well, Chris, thank you for getting stupid with us tonight and enjoying us. We've always enjoyed your stuff, and you're one of our
Appreciate
favorite
it,
players
Chris.
as always. So thank you so much.
No problem, guys. Always good to be here. Take it easy.
Take it
Thanks so
easy.
much.
Thank
And
you.
everyone, have a good night, and we will see you on the other side.